All right, equally important, what game are we starting with?
So we're starting with what I consider to be a classic. Many do. Mega Man X for the Super Nintendo is what we got today. So it's been a bit since I really picked this up, but it should be a good time.
Yeah. And so this was, if I remember correctly, this is the first Mega Man for the SNES.
I believe so. It's certainly the first one I owned. So if that counts for it, I think it is. And I was gifted this for like a birthday present. I never asked for it, and it got me into this what do you call this? Like an action platformer?
Yeah.
Is that what this is?
Yeah. Side-scrolling shooter.
And it really, one of the things I liked about it's like this side-scrolling shooter. But as right now we're in the entry level here. And I'm just firing randomly. Your controller is very good, Ken. I'm using Ken's controller. It's high quality. I can jam this pretty well, right? That's pretty good. And this is the intro level, so you won't see anything terribly interesting. You are, of course, Mega Man. And but once you get out of this level, you get some freedom to decide what levels you go to, and that's what I always appreciate about the Mega Man.
Oh yeah, skill sets.
Yep. And so and when you beat a level, you gain the power of the boss that you're fighting. Also, these are robots, Ken. So these are very appropriate to my field we're dealing with. All these robots shooting lasers.
I didn't even piece that together.
Honestly, the irony normally sails over my head as well.
That's awesome.
And a walking robot, no less. I guess Mega Man is a robot. He's not. I don't think he is some kind of bionic.
Is he a cyborg?
You know what? I don't know. That's worth Googling. Can we go take to the internet? Will the internet tell us the answer to this question? Let's see.
Cyborg or robot?
Because he was invented by Dr. Wily, so I don't know if he is part man, part Mega. I don't know.
Is primarily a robot.
Primarily a robot. Okay, so it implies he's partially.
Interesting.
Yeah, what does it say?
The term cyborg applies to specific iterations like Mega Man ZX.
But not Mega
robot hybrids.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Okay, that tells me very little. But I think that at least enough to know it's mostly a walking robot.
Oh,
so
here's the lore.
Okay.
He starts as a household robot named Rock and is rebuilt as a fighting robot named Mega Man.
Oh, well,
so that's the lore.
I've learned that today. Thank you, Ken. Well, I mean, it's now household robots are now a hot topic. There are now companies that feel that humanoid robotics is far enough along that you can actually make a humanoid robot that to work in your house. Now, I am skeptical of such a thing. I said as much. I had opinions and I had a camera, so I just filmed my opinions and put them on YouTube. There was a robot that came out called the 1X Neo that was just announced, let's just say, by the company 1X. It kind of looks like a robot that's wearing a sweater, and they claim that by the end of this year, you could have one of these things in your house doing tasks, which they very well technically may succeed, but there's one catch that I think everyone latched onto, is that it won't necessarily be autonomous. It will, at times, if it can't do something, it'll be teleoperated by remote and by some guy in Palo Alto. So. And I was talking to people about this, like, because you often get the question. I'm sure you work in photochemistry.
Yep.
I'm curious what questions you typically get as a photochemist. But the question that I will get as a roboticist are myriad, but one of which is, when can I have a robot in my house doing chores? And I'm like, well, it depends.
You got a Roomba?
You got a Roomba? Well, there you go. Yeah, exactly. It's like, you got a Roomba.
Yeah.
Mine needs fixing, by the way. And apparently Roomba is now going out of business and got bought by a Chinese supplier.
I guess it's way worse than the other ones because it doesn't use LiDAR, is what I've heard.
Oh,
like
yeah?
The detection mode is that's why I can't detect vomit and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I read up on it because we were thinking about getting one, but there's always the fear.
Yeah,
like cat poop or whatever. Just
we had an incident.
No horror story.
We had an incident. I had to give my robot a bath, which I think is why it needs repairs today. And people were like, I was like, I had to give my robot a bath. It's like, is that a euphemism for your child? Like, no, I literally had to give my robot a bath.
Oh man.
By the way, in Mega Man X here, this battle you are supposed to lose. So I've seen a few speed runs of this game, and of course you have to lose as fast as possible.
Interesting.
It's a show battle. You have to lose this.
That is awesome. And speaking of which, what's your guess for you've seen the speed runs? What's the fastest time?
I don't know. I would guess 40 minutes.
Mega Man X. Let's
probably
find
wild
out.
here.
I mean, that's what's fun about it, is you could be either accurate or if they clip through walls.
I remember it being fairly linear.
30 minutes, 54 seconds.
Hey, not too bad. I was going to say 30, and I didn't want to lose, but I lost by Price is Right rules, so. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. All the top holders are using the Japanese SNES. Super Famicom.
I wonder if how much that has to do with the game mechanics or sometimes the text on the screen.
Yeah. It's probably text-based, as if I'm familiar with
This is what I'm talking about here, Ken. In Mega Man X, you get to choose which battle, which level you go to. Same with the original Mega Man.
But there's an order of operations, right? There's an ideal sequence. Do you remember it?
Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome.
You're dealing with a pseudo-professional right here with alcohol in his hands. Of course, I'm confident.
That.
No, I mean, so the thing is, right now you're running around like a normal Mega Man, or like not maybe more of a Killer Man, if you will. But the problem is you didn't have his speed boost, and the speed boost though is how do we get? Come on, there we go. Is hidden in Chill Penguin's level. So you want to get that early. That's very important, Ken.
That's perfect. PEMDAS starts with Penguin. There, Matt isn't Robert. Also knows the rules.
Indeed.
All right, RoboBuilda, welcome to stream. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the first time chat. If you're not following, click the follow button. We like seeing our numbers go up, and you'll get notifications about future streams. And we will get to your question, I promise. But one question we like to start with every single guest, and Christian is no exception, is that most of us didn't know we were going to be professors, right? We had inklings towards sciences. Maybe we had, things we liked when we were very young. But presumably 6-year-old Christian did not think he'd be playing video games while talking about his expertise in robotics engineering while having to teach class tomorrow. And so there was a winding road and a bunch of paths that took you to where you are today. And they weren't linear paths by any means, but there were certain moments along the way that, in retrospect, probably make a lot of sense. And so what was that path, and what were those moments for you?
So I was lucky to a degree in that my path was at least somewhat linear. Now that's not better than a non-linear path to anyone who's going for a career in anything. But I knew once my parents got me a Lego kit, and I was watching the movie Short Circuit with Johnny Five.
Oh my gosh.
I was into robots. I'm not the only one, but but there are many people who are interested in that and go into all kinds of fields and other kinds of fields of science. But my high school had a robotics team. And so I was a FIRST robotics team, which, by the way, the first are you familiar with FIRST robotics? It's a school organization that does all kinds of international. It's an international organization that does school competitions in robotics, and so. You build a robot in 6 weeks and compete with it at competitions.
That's fun.
There's actually one, and these competitions are really, by the way, quite amazing. It's an entire little field that they set up. It's the size of maybe.
So I think I've seen these. These are task based, like stack up boxes or go through something or other.
They're partly that, but they're also like bunch of robots on the field that you're competing with and/or against in teams. Okay, so but it's elaborate. It's quite involved. Engineering companies sponsor these teams, and it's really fun. They actually hold one right here in Tallahassee, one of these competitions at the Lawson Center over at Florida A&M. So
now you're a robot in a robot.
In a robot in there. Turtles all the way down. Ken.
Exhibit Pimp Your Ride.
Oh, yes, a robot in your robot. Thank you. Yes.
Anyone above the age of 35 might get that joke.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. That was a meme, at least for that long lived after the show.
Yeah.
Put a thing in your thing.
Though.
So indeed. And also, I'll point out, just as a little aside here, while I get back to your question, I am now adopted a new stance with my controller. I am now using my knuckle to hit the A button, which is the dash button, because you hit the dash constantly. It makes your life so much easier. And all the boss battles.
That's your technique from back in the day.
100%, and I got many a blister from it.
That's awesome.
So I did FIRST robotics in high school. It was a lot of fun, and then one of the mentors on the team said, "Hey, I'm a mechanical engineer. I do robotics, so I did mechanical engineering." And so then in college, I did a research internship with my professor over the summer, who was doing a robotics project. And over time, he got involved with a legged robotics project that got me introduced to the world of actual legged robotics researchers. And so that got me to grad school, that got me to my postdoc, and that got me here. So it's kind of, I mean, there are little stops along the way. There was one time where for some reason in 2008, I thought it would be fun to become a finance. Wouldn't it be cool if I dropped out of school and became a finance person? I never did this, but obviously 2008 was the ideal time for such a thing.
Money, right?
Yeah, exactly. And also, I'm like, financial crisis. Maybe now it's like the time to counter program against the field right now.
Yeah.
Okay, we're running a little low. Okay, we can finish them off though. One here, boom. Okay,
nice.
Good.
Congrats.
Now our lives.
GGs.
Thank you. Now our lives get a lot easier. So for those who know Mega Man lore, once you beat a boss, you gain their power to use in other levels. And each one of these bosses has a weakness to another boss's power. So basically, it's a giant game of rock, paper, scissors. So now you got to go find the boss, theoretically, that is weak against this. However, I do break sequence for this because I want to get more of the major power-ups. So what I like to go to is here.
Yeah, and those of you not familiar, when we played these back in the day, we didn't have YouTube or tutorials online. Sometimes text-based something or other, but it was like Nintendo Power Magazine,
Right.
Or you figured it out iteratively.
Correct.
You and your friends.
And this is purely an iterative sequence of my own. I'm sure that some other sequence breaks are much better. So this boss will be a bit trickier than it otherwise would be with the Sting Chameleon. What we're going to go is for the power armor in this level. It just makes your life a little easier.
All right, so you knew you wanted to go the mechanical engineering route, but you could have done that in industry. You could have done that at a national lab.
Yes.
How'd you end up in academia? What was that choice?
So yeah, so like once I realized that that professors have a lot of control over the type of research that they do.
Freedom.
For better or for worse, a lot of freedom. I was like, that sounds cool.
We're not control freaks. We like freedom.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, sir. Thank
No problem.
you. And it's like this is I get to do what I find interesting. That sounds awesome. I think at that point I was pretty set. I wanted to be a robotics professor of some kind.
Yeah.
So and
Pursue your passions.
yeah, so that really made the rest of my path pretty clear. I was like, well, I got to get a PhD. It means I, probably got to do a post. Once I understood what a postdoc was, which I'm still not sure I understand. I have to do a postdoc. And
I tell people it's professor training, but we didn't learn how to be professors till we started being professors. So
yeah, I mean, and so you're, I'm trying to check off so this was always for many years this did become a goal of mine, and so I was working through my postdoc, and it was a pretty straight shot for me. I never really took any time off of like schools or took time off between postdocs. I was really starting to feel burned out by the end of my postdoc. So I did something I hadn't done in a couple of years. I applied for Survivor, and I got on Survivor right before I started my professor position.
one of my students told me about that.
Yes.
They're an avid Survivor watcher.
Yes. And so that was, I think, my one detour from that for like about 7 weeks.
I was going to say, how long is it? It's about 2 months?
Yeah, about 2 months. Yeah. Which was interesting to explain to my postdoc advisor that I was going to be gone, and I couldn't tell him where I was going. I was under this
NDAs
and crazy NDA, man.
Wow.
And so I was like,
just being on the show, not details.
Yeah, not even details. I couldn't even tell him I was going to be on the show. And so I said, look, my advisor is going to want to know what's up. And so I get on the horn with the producers, and they're like, well, you can tell him that you're going to be on TV, but you can't tell him what show or even what network it's on. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So it's something. I'll tell him that.
Which season were you on?
I was on season 37. It's called David versus Goliath. And I remember I told him this before I was going to leave, and then he came and found me the next day and said, Christian, I went and talked to my wife about your situation, and she is a huge reality TV fan, and she looked up the days that you're going to be gone. And what shows?
She reverse engineered the show.
And what shows are going to film then during that time? So I know you're going to be on The Bachelorette.
Oh no!
I was like, I can neither confirm nor deny. And
oh man.
So eventually when I got back, the promos started airing very, very quickly after I got back, that I was going to be on the show so I could reveal it. And so word was out.
I was so disappointed.
Yeah, well,
you weren't on The Bachelorette.
So was I. No, I was kidding. And of course, and so then I became I became a professor, which is great. I got tenure, and thankfully Survivor asked me back again, and I just filmed the second season, and that will air in a month.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of my students said he's going to be on the new season.
Yep.
And he also talked about one particularly notorious challenge that you are known for.
Yes. Yes.
It's the endurance challenge.
Yes.
You want to relay that to people?
Oh, yeah, that was so much fun. So, like when you're applying for the show, I'll tell you, like, applying for Survivor was the best practice for applying for faculty positions I can honestly imagine. Oh, yeah, because, like... I mean, I had applied for many years for the show and never heard anything back. You submit a videotape of yourself, and you probably hear nothing back. But this time, I was like, I'll submit another video, and this just so happens that this time they got back to me. And then, if you get far enough into the process, they fly you out into L.A. Fly you out to L.A. into a hotel where you just stay in a hotel the entire time. You're not allowed to leave. Okay, and then they drag you out day after day for interviews. And so they literally just say, okay, come up to this room, and you meet with a casting director, and they will just ask you questions. And then you have to be entertaining, you have to, but at the same time, you want to inform them about, like, look, I'm a science guy. I do talk about science things. And so
And you have to be a certain character trope.
Oh yeah,
right? They're targeting
to a degree, and there's sort of a balance between meeting the trope and subverting the trope that I find is really important, Ken. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But she asked questions. I know I'm gonna get questions like, well, tell me about sex robots. Like, and of course, there comes a sex robot question. And I was like, I'm sorry, I was absent that day of robot school. I have my lines. I'm gonna give out there.
Yeah.
And they ask all kind of questions like that.
Did they ask you anything you didn't expect?
Yeah, well, a number of things. Well, they'll just put you, sometimes they'll just try to call you out to see how you will react. And they're like, I don't believe you. That thing you just said, I don't think that's true. And they just want to see how you react because there might be people on the island.
They need to interview.
Yeah. They want to see, people on the island might ask you, might put you to, they want to know, well, who you're going to get along with, who you're not going to get along with, because they're putting together a cast of people. So this is actually a slightly tricky battle. It's okay.
Yeah, no, you can pay attention.
No. It's all good. This actually was a really good choice for a streaming game because it's enough muscle memory.
I was going to say, you're playing a lot of this instinctively, right?
Yeah, I'm shocked. Like, I swear, I haven't played this in 5 years, at least. So, but...
And Robot Builder wants to point out, it's a robot dinosaur.
Yeah, indeed.
We got robot dinosaurs before GTA 6. Way before.
Let's see, we'll go with the aggressive side. But yeah, so we're good. We're about halfway down. Ordinarily, for String Chameleon, you want the boomerang weapon that will completely wrecks him. If we get far enough, we'll have to refight him on the final levels, and we can use that and show the difference here.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've hit him enough, probably the boomerang would have done it already.
100%. And also, these weapons are so powerful, they do more than just damage. They actually break their sequence. They'll break their pattern. Like, they'll actually knock them out. Get a little knockback and things. So, and to different degrees, like if you use the ice weapon against the right guy, it'll actually freeze him in his tracks oh wow, I was lucky I dodged those.
That was beautiful.
Wow.
Well done.
This is really, it's the bourbon, dude. It's the bourbon that's fueling me right now. But yeah, so but
you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Bourbon is performance enhancing.
Exactly.
We don't drug test here at Ask a Scientist Gaming.
Thank you. Glad to hear it. Performance enhancing. But yeah, so just to finish off that story, like they asked all kinds of like crazy questions. Like one I want to repeat on stream. It was so off color that I was like, but like you have to just riff off of it.
Yeah.
And then like a couple weeks later, I'm doing faculty interviews, and then it's like the same thing that you put you in a room with some other faculty member, and then they just grill you, and then you just gotta get a riff,
And you can't tell them their question is stupid.
Yeah,
you have to be very diplomatic and sociable and not hated.
So fantastic. So now we've gotten the power armor. So now we can go on sequence. We're gonna go to here. This is Storm Eagle, creatively named Storm Eagle.
All right, so let me catch up on a few of these. RoboBuilder, thank you for the follow. Sasquatch702, thank you for the follow. Thank you for joining us. First time chat, hello to you as well. Thank you for joining us. We're playing a little bit of Mega Man X, talking about robotics and also Survivor, which we'll get through all those, but I'm going to catch up on a few questions. Can we get a humanoid robot tier list? Oh, as in from movies and TV?
Oh,
man. Or an actual
just clarify in the chat. I'll start from
RoboBuilder. Before he answers, do you want real ones or fake ones?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Like, is this if I'm gonna buy a robot, which one should I buy, or is this like what's most entertaining?
Well, no humanoid. I will answer a science question here.
Real robots.
Real robots. Okay, this is actually fantastic. So, in terms of robots that will be useful in your life, none of them will be useful in your life other than a novelty. Now, so like because there are some fantastic robots, they're just not reliable right now to do any practical tasks. That's actually one of the major hurdles in robotics right now is can you make a robot do something reliable in your life? We're making good strides. The last, I think, 3 to 5 years have been incredibly exciting in the world of robot algorithms, in large part due to the AI boom. The AI boom has very much fueled a lot of the current fuel robot controllers. Now, but the adage that I say about robots is that it's amazing what they can do. It's unclear what they can reliably do at this point. If you watch a cool YouTube video, guess what? It worked for the YouTube video, not necessarily for everything. Not live, right? And so if you see, this is just general advice. If you see a robot that you're really impressed by on YouTube, that's great. But if it's a video that they edited together, they controlled whether it was a good one or not. A live demo is much more compelling, or putting it in the hands of an actual customer if it's supposed to do something is that's what you're looking for. That's a lot harder.
Find some kind of way to break the robot,
yes. So
both intellectually and mechanically. But anyway,
no, you're great. I mean, I think that my hot take is that my top tier humanoid robot is ASIMO. That's the Honda
yeah.
robot. It's this little white robot that looks like a little like diminutive like spaceman. And I remember that was a really big robot when I was in grad school. So naturally I was competitive with it, and we were trying to get our robot to run faster than ASIMO. And we were like, man, ASIMO is an incredible robot. And like over time it's become clear just how amazing it was, given the technology of the time. And it had been in development by Honda. I mean, it came out in the year like 2000 was the original release of the ASIMO robot, but it was an actively research project for the next 15 years and was only recently retired I think in 2022.
Wow.
So like there have been many models. They've upgraded it over the years, but it could run. It could not just walk. It could run, and they had it doing manipulation tasks. It was mostly for show. But when I worked in grad school doing walking and running robots, we had this robot with these springy legs that was designed to run fast. And by the time we finally got this thing built and finally running, we could only barely edge out what they were able to do with ASIMO. It was incredible. Like over time, like it's incredible. So and for its time, it's amazing.
Fun side note, I got to see ASIMO live, actually.
Really?
I was in Japan, the Tokyo Science Museum.
When did you go?
They have a demo. It would have been 2014 or 2015.
I went in 2024, and it was too late.
Oh,
it was
really?
done.
They didn't do it anymore?
We missed it. Wow. We went to that exact exhibit. We missed it. You got to see it?
Yes,
that's amazing.
That's because they have like that round stairwell or ramp, and they have the plant. Yeah, no, it was
so jealous.
So fun. I kind of just walked out and like waved hi.
Yeah. I've seen Big Dog live, which is another famous robot, but it's not a humanoid.
That's fun.
I tell you, that thing is a loud MFer right there. That's
is it?
Oh, it runs on a 2-cycle gas engine. But oh shoot!
I did not know that. That's crazy.
There goes my deathless run.
That was beautiful, so far.
Thank you.
And if you get how many lives do you have?
Oh, I have no idea. I never counted.
Should I bump it to infinite just to make sure?
Don't you dare, sir.
All right.
Don't you dare.
Respect.
So we have currently 3 of the 4 power-ups for the game. So we have the fast legs, I forget what they're called. That allows me to do all these dashes, and that's so critical. It's a game changer.
All right, Robo Builda followed up with Atreus.
Atreus. That's my robot. When I say my robot, it's my lab's robot when I was in grad school.
I see.
Atreus is the one. That's absolutely it. So, so it was a project that was active for my entire grad program and like 6 months into a postdoc, and it was this incredibly audacious robot where we had these like little thin, spindly like legs that looked like diamonds. They were 4-bar mechanisms and had these springs on it. It was designed to functionally act like a pogo stick, but it looked nothing like a pogo stick, and it was a bipedal robot. And oh my God, that was such a delight. It was a pain in the butt to work on for so many years because it was so hard to control. It was designed to be agile but hard to control, and it took like 5 years to figure out how to control it. And like the team each contributed some part of the controller, and eventually it just started working. It would start walking. It would start stepping in place.
That's so sad.
And it started. Oh God! And then it started walking, and eventually we pushed it to go fast enough. It just started running. Like it was like freaking magic, man. It was like the culmination of so many years of work. Oh wait, I gotta turn on the. How do I change this?
Start, I think.
There you go. Start. And we go. It's chameleon staying here.
So speaking of timing on this, we have a perfect segue into one of our predictions.
Oh yes.
So we have one about ASIMO. But before we ask that question, human energy cost.
Yes.
What does that mean for the audience before I post
So
this?
energy cost. So like you can measure how much energy it takes to walk, for instance, right? You know, people know the energy unit of joules. Or a battery, how much energy it takes for a battery for someone to walk. So we measure the energy cost of walking as being the amount of energy it takes to walk divided by distance divided by weight. So that's actually, this is a very common metric.
We just do energy bookkeeping.
Yeah. So yes, energy bookkeeping. Basically, if you walk a long distance, a little energy, you're very efficient.
That is perfect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pop up a prediction right now. Those of you guys not familiar with Twitch, predictions are questions. Typically, we ask about the gameplay, like, is Christian going to beat this boss in like 2 minutes or whatever it might be. But in our stream, we actually ask you guys science questions. So I ask every one of my guests to come up with questions related to their expertise, and we're going to quiz you guys. But note, you're on Ask a Scientist Gaming Honor Policy. You cannot look this up on Google or ChatGPT or whatever it might be. Just use your knowledge that you've learned or something you've learned from watching Christian play Mega Man X to answer the question that we're going to pop up right now. And if you guys aren't following us, click the follow button. You'll get 300 standard internet units, which are arbitrary internet points for our channel.
Yeah.
You can use those points to to like request a factoid, unlock an emote, make us drink alcohol, whatever it might be, but you can also gamble them on these questions. And so we're going to pop up a prediction right now. You guys have 2 minutes to answer. The robot ASIMO walked using less than human energy costs or greater than human energy cost? And so could you say more efficient or less efficient than a human?
So,
Is that a fair?
So you think about less energy cost is more efficient than a human. Greater energy cost is less efficient.
And so don't answer in chat, although we appreciate it. On the top of your chat, you see that predict button. Click that predict button, and it'll allow you to pick the 2 answers. And what's nice about Twitch is it actually some game theory-based betting where you can, depending on your degree of confidence, you can put more standard internet units or less standard internet units in making that the decision. So.
That was a tricky trick I had to just
No,
do.
that was beautiful.
Oh man. Oh man. I didn't know how many attempts that was going to take, man. It's the booze. It's the booze that does it.
Matt isn't a Robert. We talking about robot calories here?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically robot calories. I mean, like your battery, if you look at a battery, a certain number of amp hours, you know, that's a current and a voltage, you know, will give the amount of energy per, you know, per coulomb or whatever. Oh, God, I'm forgetting units right now. Okay, don't quote me, internet. But yeah, no, it's literal energy, right? It's calories are a unit of energy, you know, joules are a unit of energy.
Electron volts.
Sorry, yeah, who I'm talking to.
Nanometers, it's fine. All of it works. Man, it's just conversions.
So yeah, so Ken, I'm not sure how much Ken talks about this, but like, you know, his as a photochemist, he has this beautiful photography. It's beautiful.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
So what we just got is like the maximum level weapon upgrade, where now you can charge up longer. You have that, and the thing that is great is it can also charge up other weapons you pick up from bosses to have specific.
All right, you guys have about 10 seconds left. Put your answer in there now, depending on your degree of confidence. Bet more or less. It doesn't matter. These units are useless outside of this channel, but pride is very important. So try to get the answer right, and we will answer soon.
I would agree. Pride's important here. So,
all right, Christian, what's the answer? Less than human energy cost or greater?
Greater by a huge margin.
Greater.
And you can actually measure how much energy it takes a human to walk. The way you do it is you put a oxygen mask on a person while they're walking on a treadmill. You can measure their metabolic rate. And you can turn that into joules. And on a robot, you can just measure the battery. You know, and so it's been estimated by researchers that ASIMO takes 16 times the amount of energy to walk as a person.
Wow.
And that was one of the major motivating factors for a lot of the research that I did during my PhD. And it's still an important problem. Robots still are bigger energy hogs than people, not by the same margin, but are still a significant problem because that limits your battery life. You know, if you want a robot to go out doing stuff in the world, well, it can't be, well, not tethered to a wall. Then that efficiency matters. You might say carry more batteries. It's like, well, yes. Well, then that also limits your battery life by carrying more batteries. So there's sort of a sweet spot. But like the overall point is that while robots are great at many things, very few of them are particularly efficient. So that was one of the motivating factors of the Atreus project, and also this other project I did during my postdoc called Duris. And I believe you posted an image of that on the thumbnail, right?
I stole that from your webpage.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, thank you. Perfect. That's exactly what it's for. I need to add more images on there. But yeah, that was designed to be an efficient walking robot, and we were able to that was a DARPA project, and it was to improve the efficiency. We managed to get it down to only 5 times the cost of a human walking, and they were like, "Good job." Good job.
so question related to that. I'm sorry, I'm hijacking the stream for my personal questions, but one thing I found intriguing is, so I bought a stationary bike, right? And it's because I wanted to work out and things like that. And it came with a 2-sided pedal, and one was clips, right, where you clip into the bike versus one that had straps on it. And I went on YouTube and I looked through this, and it turns out I dove down a rabbit hole. Biking, the difference between a professional and an average person is only like a 5% difference in efficiency. And it's because it's a fixed motion, right? It's a very specific, like you can't, but if you go to like swimming or biking, it's dramatically different due to the degrees of flexibility. And so does that translate to robotic efficiency then? Like if you have a bipedal pedaling versus walking, do you make up some of that efficiency difference?
So you can't. So there is a cost so basically adding more flexibility means adding more actuators, adding more motors. A lot of times it means adding more weight. So there's gonna be a trade-off with that. But if you can make a more efficient motion, that can theoretically be a help. There was one of the motivating research examples back when people were looking for more efficient walking robots was one where they distinctly limited the amount of degrees of freedom of a robot. In fact, they made the robot so simple it wasn't even a robot anymore, technically. Like they said, it was 2 sticks, they had to buy a joint, and they put little feet on it. And what they did is they just push it down a hill. And they show that hill power alone will allow it to walk. Not very far because it would fall down because it's not controlled.
Yeah.
So people tried to make robots that were based on this, where they had a little motor on it, and then they would try to kick forward these legs, right? There's a robot called the Cornell Ranger, which was made at Cornell, believe it or not. Believe it or not.
Makes sense.
So it's, yeah, so, and you can find YouTube videos of it. Okay, we're now we're in the thick of it. We have all our upgrades.
So related to that,
Yeah.
what's the translation between a mechanical object and a robot? Like a slinky can go downhill,
Right.
but it's not a robot.
Right. So there are different definitions of robots. I used to say that it is a device that can sense the world and then affect the world as a result of that sensing. So like that could be even something super broad. It could even be like a smoke detector. You know, it detects smoke. It affects the world by then saying, "Oh, it lets out a piercing wail," and then you respond by removing the battery from the smoke detector like a robot. You know.
Yeah.
So
Passively detects
but it's got a sensor.
flushing a toilet.
So
Right? that detects the human input.
Is that a robot? So that's how broad it is. I mean,
okay.
is it sensing and then acting in the world? I mean, technically it could be a control system. I mean, one of the earliest examples of a control system is a water leveling system. That's what's in your toilet, right? Now, is that a useful definition of a robot? Not in most contexts, I would say. But I've used it in the past, and I think it's not a bad one to broaden people's thinking as to what a robot is. But more common is to say it is a mechanism that can, quote, sense, plan, and act on the world.
Plan is the big one.
Yeah, so it can do some planning in the middle. Even then, I think that's a little overly restrictive, because some of these robot control, the smarts, the algorithms of the robots are shockingly simple. I mean, you're it's fair to say a chemist by trade. Is that what you say?
Yep.
Did you ever take a controls class, like a processes class, like a chemical engineer?
I envy people that have, though.
So, I mean, it's big in chemical engineering that you have to control, pipe flows and things like that, right? And I mean, and these controllers, like, they're sometimes dirt simple. There are sometimes an equation. Whoa, that'll kill you instantly. I have to be careful.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, I'll tell you. See, that's why the speed boost kick is so handy.
Wow.
So, oh boy. So yeah, that's why I go for that first. So a challenge run would be to do it in the reverse wrong order, where you're stuck without because it's even hard to kill any bot. I'll kill you this way. It's fine.
Yeah, brute force.
Brute force. I don't care if I'm taking damage in the process. There you
Speed strat.
Whew, okay. All right. I had to jam that controller to get that. All right. All right. Okay.
18 presses a second.
So there is a bit of a secret coming up here. There is a ship up here that is trying to torpedo you that you can actually secretly kill. I'm not sure. It's sort of like a surprise. Like, I don't want to call it a secret in the game, but because I just talked about it. But if I can just kill this dang thing.
Spoilers, everyone.
Yeah, spoilers. You can kill the ship that's dropping bombs down below. That's designed to go run through. But if you, in fact, kill it, and don't get hit by those dang things, let me get a... Here we go. It actually opens a new area down below. And this is where you get the heart tank.
Oh, nice. You get to increase your...
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Increase your health once you kill this guy. And this is a good spot to stand behind him and just shoot him in the head. I'm surprised how much I remember. All right.
Oh, this is beautiful.
All right. I'm glad I chose this game because it's muscle memory.
Oh, man. This is a fun game, too. Mega Man, it's a classic.
Oh, man.
There's a new one coming out in like 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. Mega Man, it's like 2027.
The music I love in this game. It'll
be called Mega Man Dual Overdrive, announced for 2027 release on Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Cool.
Classic side-scrolling action, updated visuals, and set to coincide with the franchise's 40th anniversary.
Wow. Okay.
Good for them.
Okay. It's not making me feel old.
Mark your calendars. 2027. It's coming. It's fine. We were trained on the classics. There was no easies.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna catch up on some questions.
Let's do it.
Sorry to interrupt. There was a follow-up. RoboBuilder followed up. Which major humanoid company is least likely to succeed of the current big ones? Who are you going to
Shots fired, man.
Wow.
Shots fired. Because there's so
many.
many.
Going to short sell?
Oh, who's short sell? Oh my gosh, like that's a bold question. I get in trouble for that one. But I will say if you're looking, I'll let you evaluate for yourself with these criteria, right? If you want to evaluate how far along a humanoid robotics company is, you want to see the quality of their demos when they are not controlling their demos tightly. So like if there are some companies that will just put out a YouTube video showing like a gorgeously edited version of what the robot can do, don't trust it. Don't trust it anymore. That's not. It's kind of informative, but doesn't tell you how close they are to a product. What you slightly better are when you have reporters who will then check out the robot themselves, to interact with the robot themselves. That's slightly better. What you're looking for, the ideal are long demos, or that's even better. Like there are robots that will say, okay, my robot is going to try to do laundry for hours, right? A lot of the walking humanoids, they don't tend to do as many of those things. I think, Agility Robotics is one of the many humanoid robotics companies. One's that the Atreus robot I was talking about. That was the start of that company. My professor went and started a company after I left, and now it's a major humanoid company called Agility Robotics. They are doing more warehouse demos, and they are doing longer form demos that are live in front of an audience. And they're not perfect. They're not perfect. Like the robots will fall down every once in a while. So that's what you're looking for, or specifically, there are companies that will say that they're using those robots. If you had a way of knowing whether or not those robots are actually useful and aren't just down all the time and the engineers have to fix them, right? Those are the signs that you're looking for as to whether or not they're going to be successful. Don't worry so much about cost for now. Don't worry so much about how awesome they look. Don't even worry so much about how fast they can run these days, because nowadays people are trying to make humanoid robots do practical things in people's houses or in factories. And that's what the market is trying to do right now. And if it can't do those things reliably, then hold your fire on investing in them.
GG's. Another boss down. Derp Shot. What up, Christian? You the man.
Thank you so much,
for
Derp
joining
Shot.
us, Derp Shot.
Thank you.
If you're not following, click the follow button. Thank you for the first time chat. Thank you. Welcome to the stream.
Follow Ken.
All right. Yeah, exactly. All right. So we're not going to officially answer the question about which company is the worst.
I have limits to what the alcohol will make me do.
What does it rhyme with? No. I was going to outsmart Christian so hard.
You almost got me. It is so fascinating, because now this thing that was my little research thing, like, I love these humanoid robots. I want them to go outside and do cool, fun things. And it's now a business. It's now a major, like, it's an industry that politicians are talking about, and like billions of dollars are being flowed into. And so now you get all kinds of weird, like, CEO behaviors. This I can say, like, there's a CEO that loves to smack talk. And it's not just Elon Musk. Like, there's other ones that want to smack talk online. The CEO of Figure is like calling out other companies, or like, for their videos being fake. Figure AI, it's fascinating. I'm like, wow, what a time to be in this field. Let's see.
That is amazing. So in grad school, I worked on like OLED-based things, mostly for near IR screens. But when I was a professor, the first thing I bought was an OLED TV. And so if Atreus comes to market, like, you're on it? You're gonna have one in your house?
I think that if it's, I'm not an early adopter of these things, but like if it were, like, I mean, I got a Roomba because I felt I was brand obligated as a robotics professor. I would get one if I thought it was useful, for my house, and really just get a sense of how it worked.
Yeah.
Right now they're trying to, you could buy a humanoid. Allegedly, they're going to deliver this year from that company, 1X, for $20,000.
Sure.
Which is more than I got on me.
Yeah.
Which is the right. Your reaction, Ken, was the correct reaction by any normal human being for any thing that you're buying. But my reaction, as a guy who had to buy a humanoid robot from my startup funds, I was like, that's cheap.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And
as a researcher, I was that's cheap. Now,
and the disclaimer I'll give is I did not buy a first-gen OLED screen. It was like 7-inch for like $20,000.
Wow.
Whereas now, now they're reasonable. They're good, really good screens now.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
All right, let's catch up on some questions. How do you think companies leasing household humanoids will deal with the craziness of the general public? Like, what's stopping me from buying a 1X Neo and encasing it in concrete?
Nothing is stopping.
I was going to say, do you encase your rental car in concrete?
It's a fair question. I'm not sure that bears well on that doesn't bear necessarily on the industry or the company. These are instant kill things, by the way. But the
the spikes are
instant kill. I just got past them, thank goodness. But Yeah, you can do all things with a humanoid robot. Now, that said, some companies actually do restrict what you're allowed to do with them by contract. For instance, Boston Dynamics, Boston Dynamics fame in Boston, they now of course have been selling their spot humanoids for the better part of a decade now, and once people started buying them, is that one artist put a paintball gun on top and did like an art display, weaponized, right? And I don't think Boston Dynamics like that, so now it's in the contract that you're not allowed to have it depicted with a weapon on it.
Man, one of my favorite early memes was Big Dog when they put horns on the front. It's weaponized.
Yeah. But to RoboBuilder's question, what are they going to do? I mean, here's the thing: once these things are out in the wild, they're going to be doing weird things. They're going to be screwing up in weird ways. They're not going to be controlled. So companies like 1X, this is a bargain that they're making. That by putting it in people's homes, they will get more data to train their algorithms with and make their robots better. Okay, there's theoretically a way to get this right here.
Yeah, what's the robotic equivalent of safety standards are written in blood?
Oh my god,
that's what's going to happen.
That scares me because like these things will be in people's homes. That's sort of the thrust of my video that I put out on the subject. Is that look, it is very hard to put safeguards on an algorithm for a walking robot or humanoid robot to show that they'll be safe.
And for infinite possible interactions with humans that are unpredictable.
Right.
Like, I don't envy that.
I don't envy it either. It's not easy. I don't blame. And I don't want to be a killjoy on it because I appreciate the challenge of it. We, to a degree, work on that problem in our lab. There are many problems in robotics, but that is a big one. I mean, reliability is one thing, but if that robot is reliable but still hurts you some of the time, it's unsafe, and that's not going to be good in your house. So people will, I think that the fear is that with companies like these rent-a-humanoid companies, they're going to have accidents. There's going to be these bad outcomes that they're going to have to deal with. And companies are going to deal with them in different ways. I mean, you just saw, was it Waymo, who put out the Waymo, they put out a statement saying, like, look, we're at a point where we're going to have to accept some human deaths as a result of this, which... and people don't react well to that statements like that, and
which is unfortunate because we put up with a lot of human deaths with human drivers, more so than robotics. And
right. So it is robotics as much as it is a technological challenge. It's also a communications challenge, because
perception challenge. Yeah,
it's the same thing with this humanoid robot. This Neo is the CEO is giving an interview about Neo and to this reporter, and he's answering it in a way that I feel like something like an approximation of what an engineer would, which in a way is not particular, in a way that's not very comforting to a audience of other human beings.
Yeah.
And so it is I really recommend that these companies workshop how they talk about safety and how they present safety to people, and maybe just for once don't have the CEO talk on camera.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just I know it's old-fashioned to have a PR person talking on camera and not a CEO, but I might recommend it for some of these folks.
All right, RoboBuilder, speaking of death and robots, what do you think about concept of neck robotics? Taking dead bodies, putting electrodes all over them, and running them like robots.
So I don't.
Weekend at Bernie's Robot Edition.
That's pretty. RoboBuilder. These are wonderful questions, by the way. I want to say thank you for them. I appreciate you being in the chat. I don't know to what degree you're aware of the using dead biology for robot parts, but I know a little bit about it. There was one such example was using a dead spider to be a gripper for a robot arm that they would kind of suck fluid in and out of it, and then the spider would go like this, grip.
I mean, there's some amazing animal properties that would be like gecko feet, right? Like,
exactly.
We can't recreate that.
Yeah, I mean, gecko feet's very hard to recreate. I mean, so like, what? I don't use an actual gecko foot. I mean, so
no, I was thinking about human and like just propping up a skeleton, but no, that makes sense.
Yeah, there actually might be a prediction question that might be relevant to this topic, but that is definitely something we look at.
Which one do you want?
This one. I think that's a relevant one.
We'll do that one next.
Yeah. So it's excuse me. Oh, almost fell out down. All right, but that's so there is possibility there. Now, how easy to manufacture is that? That's a different question. You know, it's a
How scalable is it?
Yeah, I mean, you could argue. I mean, if it's an insect or some kind of arachnid, people might be okay with it. But there's also kind of I won't get into the ethical concerns, but I think some of them are a little bit on the obvious side. But yeah, I mean, there are interesting. I do appreciate the more than ever the people who put together who you integrate biology directly into robotics in interesting ways.
That's fun. All right, we're going to put up a prediction right now related to this discussion about death and robots, because this is where we're starting the night.
Sure.
We're only one drink in. This is the way we journey forth. But anyway, yeah, anyone just joining us, Ask Science Gaming Mediocre Gameplay, our guest today is Dr. Christian Hubicki, who's an expert in robotics engineering, playing a little bit of Mega Man X. So yeah, robots all around tonight. We're going to pop up a prediction right now. If you guys aren't following, click the follow button, use your standard internet units to make a prediction about the DoD, the Department of Defense's EATR robot.
Eater.
The Eater, we phonetically. Eater robot was designed to eat plants or battlefield corpses. So what did the Department of Defense want people to solve with the Eater robot?
I was trying to think of questions to bring today.
No, that's an amazing question.
Cam was like, I got it. Put this one in there.
No, it's perfect.
So, yeah.
Don't give away anything.
No, you got it. You got it. You got it.
Oh man. All right, click the predict button, make a decision. Is it battlefield corpses or plants? What does the DoD want to clean up on the battlefield? All right, in the meantime, Matt Isn't a Robert wants to know, is BattleBots considered a kind of cathartic safe space for our curiosity about violent robotics? Ooh, that's an existential question.
That's a great question.
It's just fun to watch.
It is fun to watch. I think that you can enjoy it as a sport and sort of I mean, is all sport like it's all like violent sport and catharsis for violence and boxing? I mean, I don't know much about the psychology, but you could probably answer it in exactly the same way about boxing. Now,
we're watching people get brain damage. Yeah. Is that acceptable?
And I don't watch enough boxing to answer this question in a meaningful way. But like, does your average person they're watching boxing, do they feel empathy for the person being boxed, or they're like, oh my god, that's awesome, they just got hit and they got taken down?
Yeah.
And so I think it's more the latter. That's otherwise I don't think people will be watching it, right? And fair. So you can see how quickly we're taking that guy down because
that was beautiful.
So that's when you have the right weakness weapon, such as a staple in Mega Man games. So you could probably answer that with boxing, but if to the degree you want to take away the empathy out of it, boxing, robot battles are really interesting. Robot wars are specifically, or BattleBots are interesting because they're not even humanoid looking. They don't look like people.
It's easy to detach.
It's much easier to detach. But so I don't. My guess is that the answer is yes. It is a way to have that catharsis. But in a way that's not terribly different than a normal human boxing match or a fighting match or MMA or ultimate fighting or whatever. But there is an interesting middle ground, my friend, Ken, that there is now humanoid robot boxing.
I've seen that.
Because one of the amazing innovations of the last just handful of years, we're talking like 3-4 years less. Actually, technically, I would say less than 2 years. A robot came out called the Unitree G1, which is a little kind of like almost like a toddler-sized humanoid that I remember I was at ICRA, which is the International Conference for Robotics and Automation. It was in Japan. And Unitree unveiled while the conference was happening this robot. And I remember I bought my robot for my lab for over $100,000, let's say. I don't think I'm supposed to reveal the actual price.
Yeah.
They revealed this robot available for $16,000.
Wow.
And so and available for you to program. I think you have to pay a little bit more for you have to pay more for the education.
Bad.
That's not bad. I was like, oh my god, everyone can buy these. And that's something that's what has changed. You can everyone now can buy a robot. Everyone can be a robotics researcher with a humanoid robot these days if you have just a little bit of seed money. And with the helmet, you can.
I was going to say researcher is such a generous word that you just used. Most people.
Well, do you know who bought one of these? I believe it was iShowSpeed, the streamer. I believe bought one of them.
Just for fun.
I think it's either him or Kai Cenat. I forget which one. I don't know streamers that well. But I think it was iShowSpeed.
If anyone knows, throw it in chat.
I think it's iShowSpeed. And lots of them are doing. Lots of these streamers are doing the collabs with robots these days because they're that cheap. And I forget I was going with that. Oh, yeah, but now they're so cheap that people are buying them to do humanoid boxing matches. Now, right now, I don't think they're that particularly incredible. They're basically like Rock'em Sock'em robots. It's still very it's still very cool. Don't get me wrong. It's amazing that we do anything close to that. It's okay. It's right. I use the iframes to my advantage there.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Oh boy.
Strategic.
Yeah. See, there is a dude down there. Can I?
All right, let's answer the question. All right, Christian, what's the answer? DoD Eater robot was designed to eat battlefield corpses or plants?
The answer is plants. Okay, but the reason I bring it up is because there was a popular conspiracy theory promoted by Joe Rogan that it was a program designed to eat corpses in the battlefield. To the point, I had heard this like third hand, and I believed it. Because I remember I was in a conversation with some researchers, and I was like, and we were drinking, and I was thinking, you know, what's a really good energy source? Human corpses. There's so many calories in our body compared to a battery.
True.
If you manage to, if you manage to burn up one in a furnace, you could probably get.
How many lives do you have?
Oh, plenty.
Are they okay? Good.
Dude, we're fine.
I don't want to lose progress.
No, we're okay. We're not going anywhere. Can we get this guy?
You got continues too. So.
Oh, absolutely. We're totally fine. If I'm in danger, I'll let you know. I've only had 2 losses. Actually, I'll show you the. We are currently 7 lives. We started at 3,
perfect.
so we're doing fine. But anyways, so I remember Joe Rogan found this story about these things. I thought it was about battlefield corpses. And I had heard about, and when I brought this up in a conversation, like, you're probably burning human bodies would be a lot of energy. And it's like, you don't know about the Eater Project? The Eater Project, the WD was going to have this robot that was going to do human corpses. And I just stuck in my brain for years. And I was going to ask this question to you, Ken. And I was researching. So I should check this out before I put this on the internet for eternity. And it turns out, I thought it was for corpses. No, fiction.
Oh, so you learned that recently. That's amazing.
Yeah, I learned that.
And so for that, it's not clearing them. It's energy.
It's for energy. It stands for energetically autonomous tactical robot.
Wow.
So the idea is it could roll around the
I just
battlefield.
want to point out Christian remembered where that was. Well done.
There's actually a secret. If you collect that 5 different times, you get to learn Hadouken.
Oh.
From Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, yeah.
Sorry,
that is amazing. Yeah. All right, congratulations to those of you that said plants. In fact, one person said plants, but they bet very aggressively, so they didn't win that much back. But nonetheless, have pride in getting the answer right. Plants. It's not battlefield corpses. All right. Full Metal Troyzan. I have a BSCS, and I'm currently torn between doing GT's OMSCS program or doing a BSE. I don't know these acronyms.
Oh, I think
so
I a little bit. So I know Georgia. That's Georgia Tech's. I don't know what the OMSC is. Is that I don't know, material science and computer science. What you have to tell me what that kind of science is that is. But BS electrical engineering program. Given the current job market and economy trajectory, which would be a better choice? Give me what OMSCS is at Georgia Tech, then I can give an answer.
All right, Full Metal, if you're there, reply with what your acronyms mean. BS. I have a BS in computer science, which would probably help you in a whole lot of things. All right, online Masters of Science in Computer Science.
Oh,
is what OMSCS.
Science and computer science. Look, it depends. Both of those things are gonna be fine, my guy. If you love it, you're gonna do better at it, and you're gonna have a fine career trajectory. So the question is, what are you gonna do with those different fields, right? The computer science field, you're gonna do your coding. You're gonna be, coding is putting it too lightly. Okay, I gotta remember. There's a few secrets I gotta pick up right here. I apologize. I gotta remember what this is. Gotta go back into Chill Penguin and pick up a secret. All right. Okay, now that I have the flamethrower, do you want to work in hardware or not? Okay, is the thing I would want to say. Meaning, do you want to work with a physical robot? Do you want to work with a physical thing? The EE program will probably better equip you with the science of electrical engineering, and you'll do plenty of coding in any kind of engineering field these days, right? That said, I will give computer scientists a lot of credit now that the reinforcement learning world, the RL world, is becoming so big in robotics. So many of them are picking up robot hardware and working with it and learning a lot. So they're picking that up quickly. It used to be that if you wanted that most people who worked with physical robots and not just a computer simulation of robots were mechanical engineers, electrical electrical engineers. Not that computer science people couldn't do it, but it was much more common. Okay, but nowadays that the computer scientists have access to much cheaper hardware. It's maintained for them. Not that they couldn't maintain it themselves. It's just a lot easier at the company to do it for you. So, do you want to work with physical devices drawing current or not? Okay, or signals processing. If you want to do a lot of things with signal processing, that's your electrical engineering, right? If you want to make more money, go into finance.
Yep. Do stock trading, which is done by AI.
Yeah, it's
point, right?
which by the way would be a CS thing. Frankly, a math degree. Go to financial engineering. There's a part of me that finds that fascinating, but I don't care about money enough to go and do it. So,
all right, Spectroctopus wants to know: was the human energy consumption measurement based on oxygen intake or CO2 output? Could you do that just like existing over a day and figure out how many calories I burn over a day I teach versus days I don't?
That's a great question.
Energetic bookkeeping.
Energetic cookie.
Yeah.
So I'm not an expert on those techniques. I do have some biomechanist friends who will do these actual experiments, and this is actually a really interesting sort of. I'll talk about that in a second. But I'm pretty sure it's O2 consumption is what they're doing. I think it's I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. Or maybe there's a direct I don't know if they're directly. You're a chemistry guy.
Yeah.
Are they directly? If O2 in's got to equal CO2 out at some point, right?
Probably not, because perspiration and water loss and all sorts of like. I'm sure they have corrections for all that, but I'm guessing the really good people do both of them.
So
and then you correct and yeah.
So a great blend of robotics and O2 measurement is the world of robotic exoskeletons. So for many years, it was a major problem. It was a significant challenge for people who wanted to make robotic exoskeletons for people that walk. Could you make a robotic exoskeleton? Wait, I got the thing. I can escape. Good. What else do I have to grab? 1 second. I gotta grab the the heart tank from the Sting Chameleon level. That's what I gotta do. Thank you for the distraction here.
No, pause.
Okay.
We got this.
We gotta make sure we get all the heart tanks.
You're loading up. So is the next one you're taking on the final level?
Yes. So there's 4. The final level is 4 stages. Yes. But yes, that is the end.
And so you just get the armor and let's go.
Yeah. Let's get it. So sorry, the completionist in me wants to get all these things.
No, I respect that.
I am very much a completionist, as I might have said in my bio. But yeah, it's my greatest gaming accomplishment is my 100% run of Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that took more time than I want to say.
With or without guides?
Without guides.
Oh, pure.
So I did
blind playthrough.
Yeah, blind playthrough. The only thing I did,
Respect.
I got 992 of 1,000 Koroks, and my wife said we have to finish this. So she looked up the last 8 for me.
So you didn't look them up.
Yeah, thank you. Not someone understands.
Yeah, no, I respect
someone
that.
understands, my friend. So
I'm all for loopholes.
So all right, ready for the final level. Just got that sub tank, I believe. Yep. No,
All
we're
right.
close enough. So anyway, the question was about what was I talking
energy consumption, burned out.
So yeah, so energy. So imagine you want to make an exoskeleton that its job was to make walking more efficient for a person. Doesn't matter how much energy you put into the robot. Can you make a person walk more efficiently? And for the longest time, people couldn't do it. Like when you tried to get the robot to do all the work, kick your legs for you, you'd end up fighting it, and it would become less efficient anyway. It was very difficult. The way that people finally broke through this barrier about a decade ago now is they would put a person in an exoskeleton, which had like a motor on its knee, maybe or a motor in the ankle, I should say. I'm sorry, and put a motor in its ankle, and they would put the person on the treadmill with an O2 measurement on it, and they would create a little optimization algorithm that would slowly measure when it tried different things, whether or not it made the person more or less efficient. Literally brute forced, trying to figure out, is this a way to does this change in pushing a little harder at this time, make walking more efficient? What about at this time? What about at this time? And how much? A little bit less here. And eventually it is able to reduce the human cost of transport, we would call it, right? And so they call this human in the loop optimization is the name of the field. So it's a fascinating thing. And it created this whole field of people who are coming up with new ways to make more complex exoskeletons, all the way up to having a knee and a hip and all kinds of degrees of freedom for the robot. So it mixes both of those things. So it's a fascinating little field.
Unrelated question. Did you play any of the Mega Man games before this one?
This is the first one I had played.
Oh, okay.
I went back and later played Mega Man 1, and I was like, where's my boost? Where's my speed boost?
The boost and the wall jump.
The wall jump.
Not having the wall jump. Looking at those platforms, I'm like, oh my God.
The wall jump, that's what makes it feel so athletic, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the wall jump of those original ones, man.
Isn't that what they originally, like what they called the Mario games in Japan? They considered them
Jumpman.
Jumpman athletic games. I think it was sort of like what instead of platformers, I think is sort of what they were called. That's my understanding.
That's amazing.
See.
All right. Sasquatch wants to know, is RL expected to fully take over model-based control, or will the future be a hybrid of learning-based and physics-based controls? So what is RL and
Great.
what is this question asking?
Great, that's a great question. So RL stands for reinforcement learning. It's one of the many machine learning paradigms that in the era of deep learning, people have really managed to turbocharge. I remember my first attempt at using reinforcement learning to control even a simulated robot was back in 2009 when the method still sucked, and it was not very good. But in the era of deep learning, people figured out how to use them to train robots to walk way better. This really took off in 2019. So where people figured out a couple of different innovations that allowed people to train in a computer simulation, train an algorithm to control a robot, and then you transfer that simulation code to the real physical robot, and it would actually work. We call it sim to real transfer. And that was a fantastic innovation in robot control, to the point where like it does these incredible. So that's why there's a show fight you have to lose. So you just gotta run into him like, please punch me more.
Speed strap.
Yeah. When the other enemy doesn't have a health bar in Mega Man, you probably can't beat it. So speed strap. So it's still effective. So model-based control is the way that robot control, walking control was done in most of the 2010s, and was what I did a lot of my thesis work on. Okay, I get hit by this thing. Excuse me. That's how you end the battle. So and the way that model-based controls work is that you give the robot a sense of its own physics. You give it its equations of motion. Like if you do the free body diagram, you give it its equations, and it reasons about those physics to make decisions as to how to move. So it has an internal model of how it moves, and it can then make decisions on how to do it. Whereas reinforcement learning will basically take a neural network that is trained that says, this is where I am right now. This is what I should do. What's my current state? What's my action? And it's all a big black box that's been trained, right? But it's been so effective that people think, is this so much better than model-based control that it'll completely take over? There are some people who absolutely say yes. I am an opinion that the hybrid that of both is actually really good, because the model-based control gives you predictions that I can predict into the future based on the physics of what I know, that if I make all these decisions, this is where I'm going to go. In fact, the kind of method that we use in the laboratory is something called model predictive control. We use a lot of approaches, including reinforcement learning. But the idea is that the robot has an idea of its own physics. It's going to make a bunch of decisions as to how it should move based upon an internal prediction of how far, where it's going to go. Like, is it going to step on someone's toe? Well, it actually has in its head, or in its memory, variables saying this is where I'm going to walk. And it can report that back to you, the user, right? And so having that model to predict where things are going is, I think, it'd be very important for safety and reliability. It's hard to mix that with RL though, because RL is so powerful, but it's a giant black box. So are there ways you can do the same thing with RL? Perhaps, blah, blah, blah. But I'm of the opinion that there's hybrid approaches are probably going to be the smart way to go at some point. But, happy to be proven wrong.
All right, MS Mischief with no vowels. Mischief Gaming. Thank you for following. That's an excellent name. Thank you, by the way.
Thank you.
All right. Follow-up question related to reinforcement learning.
Yeah.
RoboBuilder wants to know, what do you think about applying reinforcement learning to human beings? E.g., we hook up ChatGPT to a shock collar and I get electrocuted every time it sees me vape. We've been doing this for hundreds of years, if I'm not mistaken. Like Pavlov.
Yeah. That is an interesting question.
I don't think you need ChatGPT for that. You just need a good friend.
That is a dark experiment, my friend. My friend is dead. Zero is dead.
I mean, but we've been doing like nuns hitting kids' hands with rulers. Like it's been.
What the question is? What are you looking for?
Yeah.
What are you actually looking to change behavior in a predictable way?
Yeah.
Because that can be a challenge. I mean, in a way, we sort of have that with the algorithmic feedback loop, which us going on social media. Can you manipulate people's behavior? You know, you're giving people reinforcement, dopamine, and things like that. And there's a whole behavioral science to that I wouldn't pretend to be an expert in. But there are ways that are less that are very pernicious, but also. But less sexy sounding than having a ChatGPT shock you, right?
Yeah.
They're more subtle, but
I mean, corporal punishment is going a particular route.
yeah. So it's anyway, but that's a fascinating like what could you get a person to do with like in a controlled setting? I mean, I know that the Stanford prison experiment is pseudoscience, and I think the Milgram experiment is also heavily criticized, I believe.
Yeah.
But I'm outside of my wheelhouse on that.
But I mean, I'm not a psychologist by any means, but I mean, we looked into this when we were raising kids. Like, corporal punishment for children has negative consequences, right? Like spanking and physical abuse. Like they are more likely to be violent in the future, more likely to be angry, also more likely to end up in abusive relationships. And so there are well-known negative repercussions.
Yeah, I have no problem believing that.
With that said, if you do a subtle shock and it's not like emotionally damaging, is it okay? Probably.
Or it's other ways, even not even a shock. There's a sort of incentive, and it's a little bit more akin to like the algorithm or something like that. And you're like, oh, you think you'll like this? Here's something you think you'll like. But like that's. I don't know enough about the literature to say anything intelligent about it, other than the spectrum of experiments you could do is quite broad with such a thing.
That's true, and maybe not ethical, but interesting.
Yeah, but ethical, but not ethical. Yeah, exactly.
All right, RoboBuilder wants to know thoughts on the collapse of iRobot.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I've seen a few takes on the collapse of iRobot. I've seen people very boldly say, well, iRobot refused to innovate, and that's why they collapsed. I don't know much about the economics of what happened. I mean, it sounds like they got undercut by, like, probably lower prices from other people, which is a shame, because, I mean, like, they're real innovators in the space of robotics, but... yeah, I mean, it also shows that, I mean, if you're looking at a meta level, the world of robotics is changing. Right, China is now a major player in robotics now. In terms of you could, they're pretty. A lot of the companies have come out with some really impressive demonstrations, and they can put and they've been aggressively pricing their robots, so you can buy them on the cheap, and they're not. And they're not cheap robots. They're inexpensive, but they're pretty dang good, right? So the landscape is changing. So there's a lot of talk of having to do a national strategy of robotics in the United States, for instance. I mean,
are they operating it as loss to corner the market? Is that the?
I suspect so.
Okay.
I suspect so.
Off the record.
Yeah,
yes.
I suspect that they are. They're looking at the corner of the market. So they got to hit this guy with the.
So it's a long-term strategy.
Yeah. This is our first over the end game bosses. Is some kind of spider thing, I believe is the technical name. So it kind of goes down. Oh, good, hit him there. So,
RoboBuilder. If someone on the other side of the world murders someone with a teleoperated robot, who is at fault? I mean, it's just a long gun.
Long gun, yeah. I think it's a pretty simple one.
Yeah, no, I think that's straightforward.
Yeah, not much of a trolley problem there. We're dealing with.
Only if you have to choose who you're going to murder, then it becomes a trolley problem. All right, Ethan Chase wants to know, the Zane group at FSU is working on integrated robotics and chemistry in areas like material synthesis and characterization. Do you think that'll become commonplace? To give you context, like, some reactions are just mixing stuff in different quantities, which robots are going to be very, very good at doing very, very quickly. How do you feel about that type of automation in sciences?
Sorry, I've been thinking of it through this. I got the boss here real quick. So you might have to repeat that question.
No, focus on the boss. Let's do it.
Yeah, this guy is a concentration boss. You have to see where's he going to go. He's going to go there. Boom, boom, boom. Got him. Oh, shoot, I missed it. All right.
We're going to focus on the gameplay, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're taking a break from my voice.
Yeah, no, exactly. But also, this is important. You got pride on the line here.
Okay, I'm gonna hit him. Don't be greedy, just do the normal hit. Okay, if I can do two more. Okay, I'm just gonna change from here. Oh boy.
sure somebody has figured out how to manipulate this.
Well, he hits the first one that he goes down, so he's going to see the first thing he hits. Got
Nice.
One hit.
GG's. I also got a bug emote, so we'll put the bug in there.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Congratulations, GG's.
So that's the first boss. That's the first boss.
Yeah.
There's 2 more in the final boss. I'll try to speed run those the best I can. So now I have all the weakness weapons of the minor bosses leading up to them. So.
All right, so the question was about automated chemistry, doing robots to do synthesis and characterization, high throughput screening of material synthesis.
So the question is so again, robotics reliability. How reliable? So if you're trying to do screening, I'm assuming you're trying to discriminate a good thing from a bad thing, right?
Yep.
And that's going to be, I imagine you're have some kind of test or some kind of that you would do on a reaction.
Yep.
How much manipulation is involved, like dexterity with the hands is involved in such a thing. I mean, there's already, look, you can tell me more about this particular chemistry in general, but my mom works at a chemistry lab at a hospital, right? A lot of those chemistry tests are automated in some giant Siemens machine.
Yep.
And that's a robot by virtually any definition. And so those can be automated. So you can build a device to do a test. Yeah, you can automate it, right? What a big push right now in robotics is what we call general purpose robotics. So say, okay, you shoot ice with fire is what you do. That makes sense, right?
Makes sense.
It's Pokemon logic, right?
Pokemon logic. I make most of my decisions based on Pokemon
Oh yeah,
logic.
absolutely. So okay, I think
if I come across a bush, I cannot get around
I'm in
it.
journal paper reviews. Like, okay, I think this reviewer is weak against fire. Let's see. All right, and so the question is it a bunch of different tests that need to be done, like a general purpose, where you need a general purpose smart chemistry robot? That's the kind of thing that people are more thrusting towards right now. Instead of building the one machine that folds boxes in a factory, you have one humanoid robot that you can say, do that thing, now do that thing. Or like, oh, I just have this task in my factory. I want to buy a humanoid robot. I'm going to do a demonstration for it. Will it do it for me, instead of an employee?
Yeah.
And so it would be the same thing with some kind of chemistry analysis, right? That's the analogy that's more broad than just about chemistry.
Yeah. So Ethan, I think I knew who that is. We call them grad students, actually. And if you die in lab, we figured out how to neck robotics.
Neck robotics, yeah, exactly. In other labs at the undergrads, they have to, okay, where do I label the data? It's like,
somebody has to execute said task.
Yeah.
All right. Mischief Gaming, could you break down the science of Survivor?
Oh, sure.
Science of Survivor.
Weirdly, I have always found the subject. I don't know how much you know about the format of Survivor, Ken, but
I saw early seasons.
Yeah.
The first season, the naked guy won.
Yes, the naked guy won.
Yep.
The naked guy won.
What was the psychology of that?
Yeah, well, the psychology is I kept my clothes on when I was at Survivor. That was the slow.
Regrets.
I know what the people don't want to see. There's a lot of interesting science that goes into the analysis of Survivor. I mean, a lot of it is not terribly formal because it's not a large sample size of people playing the show. But just on a controls level, we would call it a multi-agent system. You have a lot of people with different agents with different objectives. How would you navigate the situation? Because sometimes a common thing you'll do in Survivor early on, you say, oh, this person's not helping my tribe, I'm going to vote them out.
Yeah.
But that person might be helpful to you later. All right. Later in the game, it's common to say, "Oh, at the end of the game, some jury's gonna vote for the winner, so I want to vote out the biggest threat to win the game."
Yeah.
But but if you vote out all the biggest threats, are you the biggest threat left? Are you the biggest head left to chop down? Right.
A lot of game theory going on here.
A lot of game theory. So multi-agent game theory. Now, and on the island, you are sadly without calculator, nor any kind of MATLAB license.
Yeah.
So
or all the information that us, the viewer, get.
Correct. So you have a partial observability problem. I have a talk I call that I put on YouTube called "Robotics Science and the Meaning of Control," and it's robotics Survivor and the meaning of control. And it covers a couple of these topics in general about robotics and Survivor. The idea of partial observability is something you see in robotics all the time because a robot doesn't necessarily have all the information it needs to make a decision, right? You also have a limited capacity to do things when you're on Survivor. You can only control your vote, for instance, right? Well, robots also have sometimes limited ability. They don't have an actuator on every degree of freedom they wish they had, right? I mean, anytime you're running and you launch yourself into the air, you are now at the mercy of Newtonian physics because your feet are not on the ground to apply forces. So you have to be careful for how you launch yourself in the air so that way you land on the ground appropriately. That's what we call a problem of under-actuation. Let's see, can I get this guy? This is a little tricky here. Boom. Yeah.
Man, so there's been sufficient number of seasons. Presumably, there have been volumes and theses written on both psychology and game theory aspects of Survivor.
A few, yes. I mean, I've consulted on a few of them. I've read a few of them.
I was going to say you were on the latest season. That's not out yet, but you did it. Did you because you did more homework than most of the
you know what?
contenders.
I have floated the idea of getting an undergraduate researcher who was interested in game theory to do some kind of analysis where I'd be their advisor. I know FSU has the UROP program.
Yeah.
I was really, for years, I've been considering putting out a UROP project for that sort of thing, to do a computational multi-agent analysis of
interesting.
that. So, I mean, I'm not a game theorist by any stretch of the imagination, but I do know how to simulate things and do optimization. But my true calling is applied optimal control, which is the name of my course, where it takes some cool system and how do you best control it using algorithms. And that I would love to do that even in a simulated season of Survivor. Oh my goodness.
And so you just parameterize every one of the people and every one of the challenges
100%.
and just like
And there are different fidelity of models for different things you're looking for. Like I'm sure you have different types of models in chemistry, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not always simulating the Schrodinger's equations. I'm assuming for your chemistry reactions.
Yeah.
So there's different fidelity of models that I would find fascinating for people to go through, and you can parameterize people in different ways as being aggressive or non-aggressive.
I mean, what's fun about that is if you end up doing that, it's a testable hypothesis with season 51. Like you could make your prediction.
100%.
Is there a Vegas gambling? There's got to be.
Oh, dude,
betting
poly market, man. I had a dude lean over to me in a meeting one time and said, "Hey, do you want to get on in the poly market on the results of season 50?" I'm like, I did not answer the question, my friend. I don't want to end up NDA. I don't want to end up in jail. It's
insider trading on Survivor betting.
Yeah.
All right. RoboBuilder wants to know, what's your favorite algorithm?
Good question. Okay, my favorite. Okay, a few. All right, so it's more of a. Okay, I'll answer it a couple ways. I mean, one, the most obvious one to me is there's a method in applied optimal control called direct collocation. Okay, I'll explain in general what this means. So imagine like you are trying to make a computer figure out how to control a robot, as best as you could. All right, you can make a simulation of that robot, and you say, okay, try this controller. Okay, and then see what happens. And it goes around, it maybe falls down, something bad happens. Okay, you try again, and then you simulate it again. You see what happens. Maybe it falls down again, but maybe went a little further, right? You could use something called gradient descent, which is in order to improve it, and that's what a lot of these reinforcement learning algorithms largely do. Okay, but and it makes sense because the number of variables you give it to try are completely related to the control you want to try. You're like, okay, well, I'll make a controller that has these variables, and I'll limit the number of variables to make the search simpler. Okay, so in general, it makes sense if I have fewer options to consider, the easier it is to come up with the best one. Fewer things to search for. All right. Direct collocation says, screw that. I'm going to do the opposite of that. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a ton more variables to the problem. And it miraculously works so much better. And I was, what? And like this blew my mind when I was in grad school. Okay. And some people call it direct transcription, but the idea is actually really fascinating. So, and this was developed to basically plot trajectories for spacecraft, or like be able to optimize trajectories for spacecraft. So imagine you have a spacecraft, you want it to make it into an orbit around Mars or something, or maybe there's some three-body problem involved. I don't know. Okay, and you want to be able to launch it in the right way, so you use as little energy, use as little thrust as possible, get where you need to go. So what you do is you have a variable for all the different ways you want to thrust along the trajectory, but you also have a variable for all the positions that you are along the trajectory. Those variables are under the control of the optimization. And you're like, well, that's silly. Don't I have a simulation to tell me where this vehicle goes over time? It's moving around in space. Why do I need a variable to say, oh, the optimization says it's magically somewhere else? Well, what the algorithm ends up doing is it plays around with some options as to where maybe it could be, but physics says it shouldn't be able to go. But then the algorithm says, but at the end of the day, we'll make physics figure it out. So it's like that's a really silly. Okay, it's a bit of a convoluted thing, but the idea is that it's an algorithm that sort of pretends like, what if physics were this way? And then at the end, it's like, but well, then at the end we'll make it work, and it does a lot of the time, and it'll come up with way better solutions than you otherwise would find. So it like it's imagining like it sort of it colors outside the lines, if you will. But then it cleans up the coloring afterwards. Sorry, that was a bit convoluted.
Yeah.
We're going with
is there a short answer to that descriptor?
It's called direct collocation.
Direct collocation. So that's what you guys need to look up. So
yeah.
Your favorite algorithm, direct collocation.
Correct. Thank you. That
was fun. We have a standard question we usually ask. What's your favorite equation? Then we had to change it to what's your favorite equation and inequality.
Correct.
Now it should be equation, inequality, or algorithm.
Correct. Now you're starting to see how in my first season of Survivor, I talked to the host for 5.5 hours while I was in a challenge. This is how it happened.
Cheers.
Anyway.
That's favorite. All right, let's do you want another one of these, or do you, I also have some IPAs if you want to do that.
Sure, I'll try an IPA. That'd be great. Thank you.
Let me see what
Thank you. I appreciate that, Ken.
No problem.
I hope the audience appreciates it too.
All right, I got a High Sweetwater Extra Pale Ale 420.
I think a high lie. That's great. Thank you.
No problem. I want to hammer you with bourbon all night.
There are worse things to. There are worse ways to spend a Wednesday.
Well, we'll see how we feel in about an hour. I'll hit up another bourbon. But pop that out. You are close.
We're almost at the end. Yeah.
Getting there.
So,
did you expect you were set on beating this tonight?
Oh, I didn't know how long it would take, but I eventually did it. So yeah. Okay.
All right, we're going a little better than mediocre gameplay tonight, ladies.
We're going like moderocre gameplay.
It's not speedrun, but it's good enough.
Yeah.
Actually, we could submit this as your speedrun.
That's perfect.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's on video.
It's on video.
Like, it's going to be a YouTube
cheat.
clip. Exactly. We did it from the start.
Yeah. Oh man, I do love watching the speedrun videos. I love watching. Man, you know, do you know the? I'm assuming you're aware of Super Mario 64 speedrunning.
Yeah. That's one of the most optimized of the 64 games.
There was that famous Watch for Rolling Rocks video where the guy talks about parallel universes. You ever seen that the explainer of how to do it's called the A press challenge for
yeah yeah,
where this guy like tries to do
that was a recent one, right?
So the video is a little older now, but like he's been doing A press challenges for years and he's still active. His name is Pannen Koek, Pannen Koek 2012. He has a very viral video of him explaining how to beat the Watch for Rolling Rocks level, which I've never played in Mario 64, but in half of an A press. It's famous.
I wasn't familiar with the half of it.
Half of an A press, my friend. And
oh man, that's amazing. I love speedrunning. So I love it so much.
But the dude, the video is just an escalation of absurdity when he reveals the depth of the glitches he goes into, where basically he has to leverage the difference in floating point precision, the position, and basically as a result he gets a kind of rollover effect. So that where his position is being checked against the ground on one level of precision, but he's actually way off in the distance somewhere where he can't hit any obstacles.
That is amazing.
And he calls this parallel universes, and so it's a whole thing.
All right, so I looked up Mega Man X speedrun. Number 238 is 1 hour and 18 minutes.
Oh.
And so you're probably sitting at 1 hour 20 something.
Okay.
So if we submit this, you are top 240 in the world.
Oh, well, how about that? There we go. Dude, I'll take that. Are you kidding me?
I will edit the clip and I will let you submit on speedrun.
Oh, dude, I did not expect that tonight.
No, let's do it. If you beat Deathless, it's not going to be the fastest, but it's going to be one of the fastest. On the scoreboard, we count that.
Unfortunately, I did die, but let's see here. Okay, where am I? I think on the boomerang level. Yes. Okay. Do I have any? Okay.
All right. RoboBuilder. We've seen a lot of people lot of people teleoperate robots.
Yeah.
What do you think about the opposite? Like if we let AI models control exoskeletons people are wearing.
Bad idea.
effectively giving
Bad
them
idea.
control of their
Bad
own-
idea.
Why-
Bad idea.
Why do you need the exo? Like, just
Bad
use a
idea.
robot.
Bad idea. That's my response. Bad idea. Yeah.
Oh man.
Such a bad idea. I mean, for reasons that are obvious. I mean, so like the algorithms screw up all the time, as you know, and they don't understand how squishy we are. You know. Okay, good. All right, on to the final boss.
Amazing.
Now I don't have a lot of sub.
Yeah, don't trust anyone controlling anything. I don't know if you guys have the Twitch streams, the remote control. What is it called? Crowd control, where you can like have somebody playing Mario and then somebody submits a certain dollar amount and you get a star, or all of a sudden you get instant death, or you get half-life. So you can have the crowd controlling what happens in the game, or controlling button presses. You do not want that. Nobody wants that.
So clearly I forgot to pick up a couple of sub tanks. That's okay. That's all right. We don't need 100%. It's not 100% run. Although if there's a 100% run,
There is a 100% category.
okay. We probably the question is how. So it might be too late because I'm already in the. I can't escape this level. I'm assuming, right? No, I can't. Okay, it might be too late. All right.
100%. Oh yeah, much longer runs. Somebody submitted a 4-hour and 19-minute run for 100%. So you're doing great.
Oh, really? So I have to check it. I have to check in like side 3. I think those sub tanks, and I have to get the Hadoken, but that doesn't take very long. Anyway, but we'll move on to other games.
Yeah, any percent. It's fine.
80%. We'll do any percent. But like the Super Mario, like Watch for Rolling Rocks is great. So that I highly recommend watching that. I think by Pan and Koek. Oh, I completed 1 sub tank. Okay, so basically I'm just filling up. I'm using my turbo shield, which you can't see for some reason on this emulator right now. I'm surrounded by a blue shield. Just trust me, right? And there are these little caterpillars coming out of the ground that are giving me little like up. And what's happening is I'm filling up that little thing.
You're just
that says,
farming it.
Yeah, farming it for the sub
Yeah.
T's in the corner to fill it up because. There's normally 4 sub T's in the game. Apparently, I forgot to pick up 2 of them. It's okay. These battles can be a little trickier.
Now, this is veteran stat right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you farm it.
Yeah.
Crowd controlled
I think I
exoskeletons
spent
could
my
be
data.
fun. Oh man.
I'll tell you, someone on Twitch would get a lot of views off of that. Like let their Twitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we filled up both tanks.
Man, so did you ever play Zelda or Link for NES, the original Zelda game?
Oh yeah, it was the original Zelda was my one of my first games.
So Zelda 2 Link is the one I played, and my brother and I spent like months farming just like level 1 to get all your character stats up to like level 8. That is probably my most embarrassing farming experience in video games.
Dude, I just finished. I'm almost finished with Dragon Quest 11. I'm not a big big JRPG guy, but like a friend got it to me for a Christmas present, for like a birthday present, like 2 years ago. I was like, and I'm a big completionist of these things, and like I had to finish everything. So like Dragon Quest, it's a pretty good game. I enjoyed it. There's a lot of farming related quests, and I'm like, this is too much for me. And like, no, that's not true. It wasn't too much for me, but it was a lot. I was like, I can be spending time with my son, instead I'm farming like these creatures.
That's fine. Your son doesn't have real memories for like 2 years.
That's true. He's not allowed to watch TV, but he's okay to watch me farm,
exactly.
killing creatures in Dragon Quest 11.
You'll learn the OG games. Speaking of which, did you ever play World of Warcraft?
Yes, in college. That was a college age thing for me.
So you were Burning Crusades or Lich King?
Oh, original OG.
OG, wow, the original.
Yeah, the original.
When did you stop?
Not long after. I probably played less than a year. I refused. I started playing before they introduced PvE as a concept. But I wanted to play PvP so badly, so I kept, even when they introduced it, I was like, I'll play PvP. I want to do better. I want to be better. But it was so competitive, man. And I was just like, man, it was very hard to keep up.
Yeah. No, people don't mess around.
Yeah.
When they bust out the spreadsheets with stats, you're in trouble unless you keep up with that.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I did a little bit of competitive gaming in college for fighting games because I had friends who were really into the Soul Calibur scene, and we would travel up and down the East Coast to tournaments. And And that got really competitive too, but at least like a couple as friends, like we can keep each other sharp and try to improve each other. I would never, I mean, I would occasionally do well in the tournaments, but I wouldn't like be like, I wasn't like a pro level. Like some of my friends were pretty close to pro level, but that was fascinating. You just go like random, like couch surfing in random people's houses. like I went up to Buffalo and in the middle of snow and we're like, this guy like lived in his parents' garage that he retrofitted into like gaming den, and we're just playing all night, just challenging each other and things like that. It was a wild experience, man.
That's awesome. All right, let's catch up on some questions. RoboBuilda. If Roberts Roberts isn't a Robert. All right. If robots became sentient someday, do you think they'll be afflicted by things like addiction? What might robots get addicted to? There's actually a really fun iteration of this in like speedrunning video games, right? You can have these iterative algorithms that do speedrun video games, but it depends on what you assign as the effective progress metric.
Yeah.
And so somebody did this for one of the like original Atari games. I don't remember what it was, but they said the metric we care most about is new information, because if you go to a new level, then you get new setups and all things like that. They figured out the algorithm, what it converged on was it figured out how to glitch off the side of the screen so it would make static. And so it was basically addicted to static. And so that was
there's a lot of new information in static,
exactly,
right? High information density.
Exactly. And so that was the progress mechanism, and so it was addicted for the most part.
So I got to fortunately farm. I died, so I had to farm that stupid thing all over again. Anyway, we'll get it done. But that's but like what you're describing is a similar problem we experience in robotics, actually. So if you're dealing with reinforcement learning, you have to just decide what to reinforce, and that's called the reward function. That's what you're describing here, right? And it's the same thing. I work in optimal control, which is reinforcement learning is a form of optimal control. But a lot of times we use a phrase called the cost function. What costs you things? So when you decide to do that, it means everything. Okay, and so like. And it's still an art in robotics of deciding like what is a reward function that's good for your robot. Move forward versus you not use much energy versus make sure you go in the right direction, etc. So yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
Oh, here's people say hi.
Yeah, no, Carly Groff. I'm just here to say hi to Christian. Hi, Christian.
Hi, Carly.
That's awesome.
We met Carly. Anyway, I feel like I recognize that name. So anyway, go on. Yeah.
It's Bads. Hey, Christian, how you doing?
Great.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for the follow. If you're not following, you guys should click follow. We'd like to see our numbers go up.
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. This is fun. We're almost done. Oh, good. We've done the thing.
You've done it. So this is the boss.
This is the boss.
We're not going to ask questions right now. We're going to focus.
That's okay. We're focused. I'm just going to talk with Ken, and he's going to not distract me. It's going to be fine. It's good. So we got that was the final phase of that boss right there.
I understand the stress of when you get to the peak performance.
It's okay. This is very helpful, actually. As we determined, performance enhancing.
Performance when I speed run, it's like one drink is the sweet spot.
Yeah,
you lowers your heart rate, it relaxes. Yep. A little more flexible in the fingers.
Well, tell me a bit about your speed run. I know you're I'm sure your audience knows. If you don't mind sharing a little bit about yourself with the speed running, what your rewarding your speed running journey has been like.
So I started speed running. Speed running wasn't a thing when we were undergrads. It wasn't really a popular thing. But like I played a whole lot of Halo. In fact, the tournaments you're describing, I did similar things in Halo. We broke into dorm rooms to get on the network and play 16-player Halo. But yeah, we like when we didn't have a network, you just beat Halo as fast as you can, right? That's how you'd practice. So that started to some degree. But my most recent speedrunning actually happened when one of my colleagues, Eugene DePrince, and we started at FSU in 2013, and he used to throw these Christmas parties. And one of the Christmas parties, I brought a Nintendo over, and I had a Game Genie, if you remember Game Genie back in the day, right? You put infinite lives, and it started out like, let's just put Game Genie on, put in Super Mario Brothers, and let's just beat it, right? And so it started out as just a fun thing at the party, but I left it there because I got super drunk and then went home. And so he had the Nintendo, and he would text me saying, hey, I beat Mario in 8 minutes. I beat Mario in 7 minutes. And so it started our competition of speedrunning. And so ultimately I started doing my homework, looking at the videos, and eventually got down to 5 minutes and 3 seconds roughly in the game. And that was 176th in the world at the time. Right now, it's not even top 600 anymore. That game has progressed so fast in the last even 10 years. It's crazy. And so yeah, from there I did like NHLPA, I did Dr. Mario, did Tecmo and Narc, which we'll close the night with. You'll get to experience
I'm so excited. I can't even tell you again for Narc.
Well, aren't we all? Narc. What a terrible game. All right. So this is the final boss?
This is the final boss. So this is the second phase of the final boss here. As soon
Wait, where's Wily? What is this shit?
why so old school? It's original.
So angry.
This is Sigma, my friend. Got him. Okay, so there's his head will send up. This is the phase we just got to. Now, I'm doing a little better than last time. I have one sub tank left to refill my health. Because unfortunately, if you die, you have to do these 3 phases all over again, which is annoying, but which is what I had to just do.
Should I pop up a prediction while we're just hanging out?
Sure, go ahead, by all means.
Which one is, let's do how many robots worldwide, no explanation needed.
Yeah.
Or maybe, I guess, we talked about definition of robots. I'm not going to lose any sleep.
No.
All right, Christian's going to beat this boss. We're not going to ask him any questions during that. He's going to focus on this because this is important. We are going to submit this to speedrun.com if he does beat this game. So that is our goal for the evening. If we accomplish that, we will feel like we have accomplished something.
That's right.
If nothing else is achieved, this is what we got going for us. But I'm going to pop up a prediction for you guys right now. If you're not following, click the follow button, get your standard internet units. Answer this question based on what you know, not anything. You can't Google, you can't chat GPT or generative AI, anything. In this case, how many robots are there worldwide? Greater than 50 million or less than 50 million? For context, the human population on Earth is a little over, I think, 8 billion right now. Yeah. So 50 million. Greater than, less than, what is your guys' answer? Click that predict button and make your predictions accordingly. Again, don't search it.
Oof.
That was brutal.
That was brutal. That was a bad one. That was a bad one.
Ooh.
I wish there was a way to, so if I can get out of, if I can manage to, see, I got 8 lives, I have so many lives. If I could get out of the level, I could go and get more of those sub tanks. There are 4 in the game, and I could just go grab them. I could probably find them anyway. But let's see if we can get. Anyway, so
Misadventures in Astro, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Our guest today is Dr. Christian Hubicki. He's an expert in engineering robotics, and he's trying to beat Mega Man X. We are on the final boss, so we were gonna not ask him questions for a while. But throw your questions in chat. I literally have a Word document. I'm making sure we're getting through every one of them, even if it takes us time, even if we shoot the shit. We will get back to the questions. I promise.
We'll get them. We'll get them.
So, Cuddle Puppy, welcome back.
My wife already forgot I existed. It's okay. We'll be here as long as we need.
But is your wife in chat? That's what's amazing about it. It's anonymous. So who knows? She's like 420 blunt blitz it, whatever ID.
How did you quote her so accurately?
I don't know. I know people.
So we got a few seconds while I'm filling the sub tank, so it'll be another 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, we're farming, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy it.
Yep.
Enjoy it. All right. But yeah, you guys have about 15 seconds. How many robots are there worldwide? Greater than 50 million, less than 50 million. Everyone has said greater than 50 million. Somebody's got to do a dark horse bet here. Brutal Ocopolypse 666. Hey Christian, old friend from Graph Hall.
Oh my God!
Graph Hall.
That was grad school. That's your Graph Hall, man. That's grad school. That's where I was working on Atreus. They might have stopped by and seen Atreus in one of its many forms.
That is amazing.
Oh man, great to have you here, man. Oh, all right. See if we can beat it this time.
Flashback to your Soul Calibur days.
Well, it was so crazy. So like I had a handle. My handle was Alpha. That's what everyone knew me by at these things. No one knew my actual name.
Alpha's that's a early game.
Yeah. So in fact, I got Alpha in this form. But anyway, that's and it was funny. So like that was an undergrad, and then I remember I was walking around in grad school at a new university, and someone said, "Hey, Alpha." I'm like, "Holy crap!" Wow. I'm like, "So this person knows me from Soul Calibur? What?" It was very weird. Anyway,
that's amazing. Brutal says Jordan Ravi's lab.
Oh, Jordan from Ravi's lab. Good to see you. Oh yeah, cheers. Ravi. I think Ravi's still there as far as I know. Last I checked.
But yeah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining. It's great to have you. Talking robots still to this day. Surprise, surprise.
He did not go into economics.
No, I did not. Started to go to financial engineering. Not hedging bets in a hedge fund.
Oh man, but it'd be so much more lucrative.
Oh yeah. I'd pay someone to do the speed runs for me. Isn't that what Elon Musk did? Didn't Elon Musk like hire people to grind his characters for him?
Yeah. God, just that statement about like people that were born on third and think they hit a home run. Like he is just that. Like, rules don't apply.
That's so funny.
Like, I just...
Oh, shoot. See if we can get this guy without taking a sub T. But...
Misadventures of watch streak reached 5 stream streak. Holy crap, Misadventures, you watched when Eugene and DePrince and I were doing speedruns on an arc. Oh, wow. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so we haven't had an official stream since early December because it's hard to get people over the holiday break. But yeah, Eugene DePrince and I did some NARC speedruns together for the 2-player run.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Where are you on the NARC leaderboard, sir?
Oh, do you really want to know?
Yeah, I do.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet? Okay.
As of 1 week ago, Eugene and I hold the record for 2-player, and I hold the record for 1-player.
The worldwide speedrun record for NARC.
NARC runners in the world.
Guys, do you know what famous person we have here with us today? Do you even understand?
It's on my resume. This is part of my H index.
It's H index. Your performance evaluation, like my research category.
Exactly.
Research, service, and teaching.
Post tenure review. DeSantis, you might as well write me my promotion check immediately because NARC speedrun records. Now, I've actually held 4 speedrun records, and all of them have to do with figuring out glitches in the game to make it faster. So, scientific method, better living through science.
Dude, I gotta say, I tell people unironically that I'm gonna bite it here if I'm not careful. But the did I fill up all the sub tanks? Anyway, so we're close here, Ken. We close this out. We're only 2 hours. We have last hour for other fun things.
Oh no, we're doing the no. We're committed to this. We don't need to do anything else. You got 7 guys. We're gonna make it.
You're gonna make it.
Nobody shows up for the game like choices.
Okay.
So
I didn't know. I'm sure the audience was like, well, Mega Man's kind of basic.
Should we have
Who's this basic dude you got here doing Mega Man X?
You're about to become the 250th fastest runner in this game.
What can I say? We game respects game here, Ken. The NARC speedrunner champion. Oh man. So But
anyway, sorry. Unironically, speedrunning is.
Oh, it's amazing. It's just amazing exercise of the scientific method.
It is.
Like when people are glitch hunters, they're doing basic research.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are and the glitches don't always have a practical application, right? I tell you, I think you really enjoy Pan and Coex videos because a lot of times it'll just be like, can I get this thing in Mario to behave in this way? And it will have no practical application whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
But it's just interesting.
It's control, yeah.
But then, like years later, like actually, this thing was really important to beat this level faster, right? It is the scientific method. So there's sorry, what probably happened? I didn't fill the other sub tank. That's probably what happened. That's why I just got screwed up.
There was one of those recently in Double Dragon, the original NES Double Dragon, where they figured out how to spawn the final boss off the screen by like which direction you point. And
really?
Yeah. It's cause and effect.
Oh yeah, it's a
scientific method, ladies and gentlemen.
I think a lot of people learned a lot about computer science just from the mechanics of how a game works from these processes. Like the Ocarina of Time speed runs, as my understanding, are incredibly broken now with stale reference manipulation or whatever they use. Oh man, incredible stuff. Let's see, am I all? Yeah, I think I'm all topped off here. Good. All right, let's get this time. But yeah.
All right, before you go in,
what you got?
How many robots? Greater than 50 million or less than 50 million?
Less than 50 million. I just disappointed a lot of people.
They bet big on 50 million. Congratulations. Who is this? Cuddle Puppy, Dark Horse bet 33 to 1 payout on less than 50 million.
Dude, I'm telling you, so this surprised me. Like I was like sometimes, I try to when I do more public communication robotics. I do talks at different places. Including I go to Dragon Con and give talks.
That's fun.
And so I give robotics talks. And you try to prepare on like what are the silly questions that are actually really good. It's like how many robots are there? I was looking it up. It's actually like 5 million. Fewer than 5 million robots in the world. It's far fewer than you would expect. I mean, think about economies of scale. What do you think, Ken? What do you think when you hear that?
I mean, it's so my brain goes to like there's a 30% portion of the population that doesn't have like running water and electricity, right?
Sure.
And so if you start with that number and cut it in half, basically, but you're still talking about Man, 50 million versus 8 billion people.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about each person owns, 0.001 robots.
Yeah,
That's still a shitload of robots.
I mean, that is true in the grand sense, but of course, the vast majority of robots are in industry. They're assembling cars and plants. They're doing right, but like we don't have an intuition as to the scale of industry on a normal human experience level. So it's hard to know. Like, are there 500 million robots churning away in a factory somewhere? You don't have an intuition for it. But according to most, like, if you look at various economic publications, like, there are 4 million robots in the world as of like 2024. It seems like robots are everywhere, but they're doing a lot of work behind the scenes, but not as many of them as you might expect. So it surprised me.
So follow-up question for you. Does Rob the Robot count for NES?
Oh, that's going to put you right over the top. It's going to put you over the top there, sir.
So have you played any of the modern, like, Smash?
I haven't. Not since Melee.
They have Rob the Robot in one of the new Smash games, which is amazing. And nobody knows what it is, but I saw it and I'm like, oh, that's Rob. That's the original NES.
I do find competitive fighting games to be fascinating. Like, I didn't understand anything about them when I first got into it, but then my friends were really into it, and we ended up going to, like I mentioned, these tournaments all over the place. We learned very quickly how little we knew what we were doing. And you assume it's about, like, oh, I know how to do this move, I know how to smash these buttons correctly. But at a high level, these fighting games are basically mind games that you're playing with your opponent. You're trying to get them to, and more or less, playing a game of rock, paper, scissors against them. You try to convince them to throw out scissors right when you're about to throw out a rock. And it's just dressed up with fancier execution. And that's really interesting, that how much is the degree to which it's mind games and adaptation to your opponent. And that took me a long time to really get my head around in a practical sense. Okay, so far we're doing okay, assuming I didn't somehow lose a sub T this time. Okay, all right, so I still have 2 refills.
So is that a strat you came up with, or is that a known?
This thing I did, that's just something I figured out when I was a kid. I don't know if that's my solution to everything. Ken, is jump on the wall. Jump on the wall. You gotta think you gotta jump on the wall.
Fighting games are actually similar to real fighting in that regard.
Really
interesting. Yeah, the game theory aspect of it again.
That's interesting. I don't know much about real fighting. I learned a little bit about wrestling on Survivor when one of my tribe mates was a professional wrestler. And he said that wrestling was like, it's more of a performance he was telling me about, but he said, wrestling is a lot like magic. It's about misdirection. I'm like, really? Okay. I thought it was interesting in the way he phrased it.
So one of my favorite fighting game clips of all time, I'll let you focus on gameplay.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Finish this off here. All right. I'll try to commentate on the gameplay especially. Okay. He throws out a couple attacks. You get the fire attack, which doesn't do the full sweep of motion. So if you can detect it's the fire attack, you run off to the corner. If it's the little ball attack like this, you got to kind of dash through the balls at the right time to miss them. There's another one. Oh, thank you, sir. I hate the ball attack. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, shoot. Are brutal.
Yeah, you got a couple of different types of attacks, and I'm going to have to use the 3rd sub T already. Okay. I'm doing some damage, but not a ton. Okay. Yeah, the spikes are coming at you, so you're balancing a lot of things. Okay. Oh, come on. What you're waiting for those spikes to come down after you, so that way you can, jump on them, jump up and hit them. It's probably a better strat for this, the speedrunning strat, but yeah, okay, good. Missed that one. Good. Missed him. Another chance to hit him. Hit him. Okay. Okay, got hit again. Only got a few of these hits left. Okay, good. Just don't hit me with lightning while I'm here, please. Good. Good. We're up. Oh, shoot. Didn't jump at the right time. Oh, we might go down again. Fire really hits you hard. Don't hit me with lightning, please. There you go.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, lightning hit. Oh. All right.
Wow, so they shoot lightning up and down.
Yeah, it's a little challenging. Yeah. Normally I collected all my sub tanks, and you have a little bit more buffer. But because I, for some reason, didn't, maybe it was the booze.
Distracted. No, collect them all. All right, are you familiar? So you might not have done Street Fighter 3, but the Evo moment. Have you seen this? The Daigo versus Justin.
Is this where he carries all 1,000 hits?
Yes. Oh my God, that is my favorite. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please. Yeah.
I didn't play this game, but just like when you recognize how hard that is, oh my god, that is one of my favorite clips of all time.
My friend kept playing for that for me over and over again.
It's ridiculously satisfying. I'm not going to play it for you guys. I'll put the clip in chat right now if you guys want to check it out, but it is one of my favorite video gaming moments.
Yeah.
But just to do that in front of a crowd, like,
the crowd goes crazy.
God. Oh my god. And they see it and he comes back like.
So Evo is like the major fighting game tournament, the national fighting game.
They did Soul Calibur?
Yes, they did Soul Calibur. One of my friend, I think my friend qualified for it. He told me, one year, like my roommates were better than me, but like I eventually got to the point where like, oh, Alpha, he's pretty good. You don't want, like he's not a scrub. That's where I got to the point of like you couldn't just mess around with me, and I do okay. So
and if I ever hear of like Flippin' Great Pinball doing a Soul Calibur tournament, I will let you know. Are you familiar with the local like pinball arcade area, the one in Railroad Square? Yeah. They sometimes do. I know they do Tekken tournaments. I don't know if they do Soul Calibur.
Tekken's way more popular, I think, in the scheme of things. I mean, Tekken is a more technical game, I believe, in terms of how you execute things. But the 3D games. This is my pontificating on fighting games. The 2D games are highly technical. They're super timing based. That's why you get that Evo moment where you're parrying the 1,000 kicks, in real time. Like it's much more frame perfect stuff going on.
That's fair. Less degrees of freedom. We talked about that. The efficiency has to be higher.
Bingo.
Right? Like, all right. Mischief Gaming. There's a live reunion this season. So do you not know the winner correct of Survivor? He cannot say anything. And he knows the winner if he's the winner. But we don't know. We're not saying anything. I'm not getting him in trouble on Ask Scientist Gaming.
Well, I'll talk about this in a way that it won't get you in trouble. So just as a clarification to the rest of your audience. So the way the Survivor works is that that at the end of the season, jury votes on the winner, and for many years the winner was not revealed until a live finale in Los Angeles. And so like theoretically no one knew the answer as to who won the season. Now for the ever since COVID, they got rid of the live reunion, and they just while everyone was quarantined on the island, they just revealed the winner there.
Interesting. But did they give you a rationale behind that transition?
COVID originally, but it was because presumably they had to like make sure that get everyone together. It was like the height of COVID. And the host of the show has now officially revealed that there is a live finale for season 50. They brought it back.
Wow.
So if in such a case, if there is a live finale as is tradition, then no one knows who won the season. Not even theoretically the winner would know who won the season, because they don't necessarily know who won.
I see.
Yeah, you could ask people, even though you're not supposed to, and they could tell you, but they could be lying to you. And that would be the first time people lied to people. So it's very possible that almost nobody knows who won season 50.
All right, boss fight. We're gonna chill for a bit. No questions. No predictions.
All right, we're locking in.
We're watching
as the children say. All right. Okay, we hit him with the got a few hits.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. First two phases we're doing all right. It's the final phase I'm not locking in on some of the maneuvering because it's pretty tricky. There are ways you don't have to wait for the spikes to come down for you, but it's a very high risk, high reward, which we do not want right now. Oh, boy, I'm really blowing it here. Let's hit the sub T. Dang it. Walk in. I'm really timing this poorly. Okay. 1 second here.
Nice. Beautiful.
That's okay. All right, third phase.
Ooh, 1 bar.
Yeah, I gotta heal up because I'm gonna need everything.
And that's what's brutal about these multi-boss series, because like you can beat the first boss, but you have to do it clean. Yeah, otherwise you're screwed later. These games were so unrelenting and so unforgiving.
Okay, all right, what you doing, sir?
No save states here, ladies and gentlemen.
No, we're not save stating.
You're just stuck with where you are.
Okay, we're gonna do a full clean approach here. I missed it.
Oh no.
Here, this guy. Got it. Stay in the center. Shoot.
I do like these fights where they just add mechanics as you progress.
Yes.
Just like slightly harder every time you get damage.
Oh my god. Wait. Center. Dun, 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 dun. I've just been doing this clean from the start. We'd be fine.
Nice.
Why does it pick such a difficult final boss for this game? Let's see. Boom. Okay. Oh shit. That was a rock and a hard play.
Oh.
Okay, I think we got the strat this time. I think we got the strat.
Jennifer, thank you for the follow. Thank you for joining us. If you have questions for Christian, put them in chat. We'll answer them eventually. We are focusing on gameplay right now. This is the goal. We are going to beat this.
So
game.
we have we have about a minute while I farm for the upgrade.
Oh, yeah. Let's do another one.
Just do it while we're up.
All right. Spectroctopus wants to know if you could start over and switch fields and study whatever academic field you're interested in that isn't robotics, what would you choose?
It's changed over the years.
Finance.
Finance. So you get the cash, get that money. There's a scientific field.
It doesn't have to be science. We can do art.
Yeah, do art
music,
or anything.
Performance.
I mean,
whatever.
I in college I minored in clarinet. Actually.
Oh wow,
that was fun.
Like legit.
Yeah, the competitions and things, performance. Yeah,
Wow.
it's, I mean, I was all right. You know, but I think that in terms of like fields I had increasing respect for, it might be something like in the social sciences, like there that people who like have sometimes people come up with really creative ways to come up with experiments. There was there's kind of this scandal, but also this fascinating finding that happened in social sciences, I think like 10 years ago, roughly, where it was in political science, and where there was this big study where people showed that if you're trying to canvass for votes, you go to someone's house, you go to their house and you try to figure out, like, you know, like it was like, oh, who are you going to vote for? Who are you going to do? And like, for instance, if you wanted to, if you were going to ask about LGBTQ issues, if the study found that if the canvasser went to the door and said, actually, I am gay, that the effect size on the change in the vote was enormous, like published in Nature. Enormous. It changed the state of political science. Turns out the data was faked, and like the rival researchers figured this out. Like, this is how would they the study, the data size was so big that like, how did they get this? How would they possibly get this data?
Yeah.
And they found that they kind of manipulated an existing data set, and these rival researchers figured it out. Now, in a plot twist, not long after, those researchers who uncovered the cheating published their study with the same findings. Basically, the reason they were onto it is they were trying to do this exact study, but it took so long, they got scooped by this group that faked it. So it's just like, so the
conclusion was right. The mechanism
was wrong. and like, in the world of political science, faculty positions were so small that like this guy beat them out for one of the few faculty positions that was available for it. So it was such a small world. Anyway, it's wild. It's a wild story. All right, let's get.
Oh my god, that's amazing. All right, we're locking in.
Lock it in. We're finishing up. Shotgun ice. Shotgun ice. It's weak against shotgun ice. Shoot. Okay. All right. Okay.
Ooh,
that was
clean.
That was a clean one.
Very nice. That was beautiful.
Let's change over to the electric spark that this guy's weak against. Performance juice here. Thank you.
And that's the thing, is it's just executing. So back in the day, we didn't have save states to practice these fights either. You just ground until you got there.
Actually, I might have a new strategy here. Let's try to hit
Just
him.
keep him low.
The problem is he changed. Obviously, the angle kind of changes as he intersects at a different point. So so it's a very simple thing. Okay, gotcha. Okay, do it all right.
Yeah, that in motion hit is very nice.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, that was pretty clean first two phases.
Very nice.
Okay. Maybe back out a bit.
If you guys have any questions, throw them in chat. We'll get to them. Thank you for the follow, Hex Kitty Cat. Thank you for joining us. We're beating Mega Man X. That is our focus right now. Not science. We are on expert gameplay, not mediocre. We got this.
I'll take it, dude. Shoot. We're up. I gotta wait for those claws to come down. Okay, we got a better strat this time.
Oh,
I forgot the
oh no!
Oh no!
Because you had two
I was
tanks
locked
left,
in. I had two
right?
tanks left.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
That's oof. You got
That
that.
was good. Okay, we'll clean it up. We're cleaning it up.
Cuddle puppy, literally throwing for views. All right, let's get a question in here.
Yeah, let's get one in. Yeah.
Favorite clarinet piece?
Oh, I have a soft spot in my heart for the Weber Clarinet Concerto #1 because that's what I won my concerto competition with. But I do have a soft spot for Debussy, David Debussy Clarinet Concerto, because I as much as I love late romantic pieces just because they're so bombastic and just full of emotion, the Impressionist, I do have a soft spot for Impressionism as well from Debussy.
So is this one?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the one.
All right. I'm going to put it in chat if you guys are interested in listening to it, but you should watch this gameplay while you listen to it.
Yeah.
And
that's more nostalgia than
chilly.
anything, I would say.
Favorite clarinet piece?
Yeah.
So I'm curious, was there like a career-ending injury? The reason I asked that is Don Carr from Sociology, she was going to go pro and it was something like trumpet or something, but she actually had a surgery on her vocal cords.
Oh, really?
And it literally ended her career in music.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, and she ended up in sociology and loves it now, but like, yeah, you're an athlete. Like you're a performance executing athlete.
I wasn't at quite that level. Like I was point where I was like I would at best semi-pro. Like I would do gigs right through grad school. I would say I had a career-ending injury to my ego. I think like I remember like I went to do my postdoc and I was like I played all the way through grad school. I did like all kinds of orchestras and things, and I was doing well, and I was at Georgia Tech, and I was like, yeah, I'll try out for the bands and things like that, and I just went and did an audition. I thought I did fine, and they're like, you got the worst band. I'm like, what? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a break from clarinet. That hurt so hard. I was like, I don't know what I screwed up in my audition or something. But so I gotta pick it back up again because I thought it was pretty good.
But in retrospect, do you see the difference between you and the top performers? Like, you can tell that difference.
100%. I'm not a pro.
So that was just ego. That was
just ego. I mean, but at the same time, this was like I was trying out for like student level bands. It's like I was like I clearly like just didn't realize how badly I screwed up that audition or something. But it's like which was sort of embarrassing. It's like I didn't realize I screwed up that badly. So anyway,
that's fair.
So anyway, but it's but yeah, no, it was Like, oh, I was never professional level. Oh, sorry, I gotta practice. I'm sorry, I should probably
Focus. Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta go
I'll
back.
interrupt.
Boom, boom. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Let's issue.
When machines take over, do you think there'll be a robot version of Survivor? What would it look like? It's BattleBots, right?
I have a story about that when I'm done with this one.
All right, we'll revisit that question because this is important, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
very important. Very important. Ken's being so patient while I'm finishing this game.
I am. This is important, though. This is like people will talk shit about speedrunning, but when you get your name on that scoreboard, like you are one of the top 500 in the world. Like that's not a joke. I respect it.
Okay, I gotta use one of the subtase here. Use it. Oh, don't want to throw here.
Yeah.
We gotta make sure we have enough time for Narc.
Oh, we're beating Narc. I will stay here for 5 hours. We are beating Mega Man X and Narc tonight because that's what we're going for.
Students, if you're listening, if I'm a little off tomorrow morning on my live coding session,
blame it on me.
Blame it on Ken.
Whatever. I'll teach class for you. If they want to learn about equilibrium and rate constants, we'll be fine.
That was a clean second phase.
That was
though.
beautiful. That was the strats right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, we're gonna put
Robo Hunger Games would be cool.
yeah, there's a lot of content to farm for there, you guys.
Oh man, it's only 16,000 for a robot, right?
Exactly.
Mr. Beast, your next show.
All right. Okay, over here. Come on, jump down. Thank you. All right, got 3 hits. Oh shoot. Ooh, got it. Ooh, that's a close one. Good. Oh. Okay, let's roll on top of it. Good. We have one more subtangle left, right? Fantastic. Yep. Good. So look at that. Every hit matters.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Like that one.
Oof. Oof. RNG just screwed you.
Yeah,
that.
Thank you for recognizing that.
That was brutal.
These are at least dodgeable. You can stay in the center of the thing and not be boxed in. I'm on it. I couldn't see myself, but I got on it.
My frames, we'll take them.
Discovering some strats in this property.
Yeah, it's just staying calm on those.
Oh, I couldn't see myself. It wasn't on there. Oh. Oh, no. Okay, we'll take it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
That was brutal.
Oh!
That was very nice up until that, like,
until it wasn't.
Destruction.
Oh, RNG again.
Oh, man. If you're not familiar, RNG is random number generation. Like, there's a certain sequence where you're gonna get hit, right? And if you don't, and presumably, I mean, somebody has figured out how to manipulate
you can definitely
this,
do it.
sure,
Just it's a high degree of difficulty, sort of jump out of the way that you could throw you into a higher damage situation. Oh my god. Okay, we got this. We got this.
All right.
We were so close.
While farming, Snazzy GT wants to know, would you recommend computer science student to check out the robotics club at my university?
100%, man. I'll tell you, like computer science solves all kinds of interesting problems, but when you are interfacing with real physical hardware in real time, it adds a whole different element to debugging. Okay, I mean, you're not just debugging your code. It's not just your code that's wrong. It could be the sensor that's tripping up your code, right? I highly recommend it. Like my advisor was a mechanical engineer. The dude just loved mechanisms. He did not like coding very much, but but he had a vast respect for the complexities of hardware. He told us that you are not allowed to graduate unless you control a physical robot, not a computer simulation. Software is not enough. And you will learn so much more from that process. And I learned a lot from that process. And I was a mechanical engineer, but I didn't care that much about hardware. But he was right. And I think these days, more people appreciate that because most people have physical hardware. So I totally recommend checking out, if you're a computer science person, see how your code acts on a physical machine that interacts with the physical world. Totally worth it.
Mildly related. Cuddle Puppy wants to know, how far is robotics from inventing cyborg men with laser arms that can jump really high and slide up and down walls? I demand real life Mega Man. Fix it.
we're gonna get to all these questions.
Yeah,
make sure you remind me when we're playing NARC.
No, we don't have to answer that question. Cuddle Puppy, thank you for it.
Because I have plenty of thoughts, man. Many of thoughts. You're gonna.
How far are we away? That is fun.
Okay. All right. Just gotta be careful with my. If I'm clean with my boost jumps, I do a lot better.
Controller throwing time. How long has it been since you threw a controller? That was a clean fight. That was 100%. Wow.
Yeah. I'm just getting the dust off.
Yeah. No, practicing. I get it. Real time.
Oh, I'm not a controller thrower. I'm more of a look in disappointment. I've run.
I'm not angry. I'm disappointed
in myself.
Right, I'm going to run to the restroom during this fight. I'm going to get back for the next one.
Got it. I'll hold on to the fort. Now that Ken's gone, let's all talk Survivor, guys. Let's see. Okay. We're doing it. Okay. Oh, shoot. Too soon. Doing this. All right. For those who want to check out my stream, twitch.tv/CHUBICKI. I more play Blood in the Clock Tower. That's what I play these days. Okay. We got one hit on us in that battle, so we're doing pretty well.
Oh, what is this? Hubicki? It's just last name?
That's it. See,
right.
Hubicki. Yeah.
We'll link that right now. There we go. You guys should click that. Click follow. I'm not following you. I'm following you now.
Yeah. I followed you today.
You got one more.
Thank you. We're good. Just gonna keep my eye on my health. Okay, that's fine. We got 2 sub-Ts. We're gonna do okay. We had to thread the gap right there. Cool. Boom. Come on, come on, come on, come on. In it. Done. All right, here we go. In. Hit. All right. Give me another one. Thank you. Up and hit. In the middle. Jump on. Hit. Clean. Come on, come on, come on, come on. In the middle. All right, jump on. Hit. Okay, screw through. Oh, shit.
Oh.
Okay, okay, all right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Don't panic. Keep an eye on the health. Jump on. Hit. Jump on. Hit. 1, 2, 3. Done. Ooh, that guy got me.
Into a...
Okay, all right. Just make sure you keep an eye on the health.
All right.
Okay, jump on. Hit. Ooh. It's a close one.
Like the wall hug there.
Thank you. Ooh, that wall's my friend.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay,
Just need a little bit of room on that.
okay, come on. Don't hit me now. Another one. Please just let me an opportunity to jump on him. Ooh, close one. Jump and hit. Jump and middle. Jump on.
You got a tank left.
Oh, okay. Let's do the tank now before we forget anything.
Yeah.
Okay, don't risk it. No biscuits for risking it. Okay.
Yeah, no, there's no pride here.
Okay. Okay. And hit. One more.
One more.
Jump.
Oh, get it. GG's. GG's.
Did it.
We did it.
We did it.
Woo! You earned that.
I did.
No, you earned that. That was a grind. Practicing in real time, but you earned it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll go to scroll through the text here.
Oh yeah, no, we're watching credits. Let's chill. You can relax.
Oh, we're gonna have to always question.
You're gonna feel this tomorrow. It's gonna hurt, and that's fine.
Man, I just could have grabbed those extra 2 sub tees. That would have been fine. I could have grabbed. Anyway.
What's crazy is if you pick this up tomorrow, you would like cut your time in half.
Probably,
just because
yeah.
that practice,
Yeah.
like
It's shaking off all the dust off all that.
Exactly.
At least I remembered a few of the strats. A lot of the strats going in. So,
there it is.
the war is ended now, and peace has been restored. But those who have sacrificed themselves for the victory will never be forgotten. Never turn. Okay. Ironically, the character Zero did sacrifice himself and returned for the next game.
It's amazing.
I feel like we're being lied to, Ken.
It's a big conspiracy. We need to write an angry letter to someone. I'm sure it'll have a major impact.
I think there was I feel like maybe 8 years ago, there was a push for a couple of different people were doing Kickstarter games where they were like making Mega Man clones. One was a Mega Man roguelike where the platforming level was randomly generated. Which is an interesting choice because platforming level design is kind of an art. It's hard to randomly generate appropriately.
Yeah.
But anyway, cool. What else we got here?
I mean, if you want to, we'll take a little break.
Yeah.
Let the credits roll, especially for speedrun.com.
Yeah.
All right, Cuddle Puppy wants to know, is it true that when you get voted off Survivor, you die in real life?
Yes, that's why I am a ghost for the first season.
No, you're necrobotics.
I'm a necrobot.
Is currently being controlled by a bunch of electrodes, and his muscle tissue is fine.
I'll tell you, it is fun. I've been a Survivor fan from, I watched every season since it came out and rewatched seasons. And occasionally, I mention it, like people will Survivor would come up in casual conversations. People are like, that show's fake, right? That show's fake, right? And now I'm like, I was on it.
But you watched your own season. You saw how they cut it together, and
Oh yeah. I mean,
and it's a reasonable depiction of the actual interaction.
yeah. So there are different levels of what fake means. Some people think it's actually on a set in Los Angeles. It is absolutely not. And I'm trying to tell you, like, guys, it is cheaper to film in Fiji and not feed us everything.
Make you suffer, yeah.
It's like, well, those people are actors. Like, do you know how much you have to pay? They're SAG. You have to pay actors.
Yeah.
They have to write their lines. No human being would write the words that I say. There's no one alive who would do that. So
No one would talk for 5 hours.
the better, exactly. I mean, could you imagine? Aaron Sorkin is paid by the word. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, But there's in addition there is the so there's like it is unscripted TV, but in terms of like the actual gameplay, it is very real. Like every word that comes out of my mouth, that's my idea. Everything that I do on that island, whether I decide to vote out that person, that's my idea, right? That's what's kind of the beautiful thing about it. And so the magic of how you get a good show is through casting. So there are probably 10,000 people probably applied in a given season. And they are filtering out people, not necessarily just because they'd be good at Survivor, but because they know what they will get from those people. They will be different character types. Yeah. Like, oh, that person, he's going to be an aggressive player. Oh, that person, they're going to be a loyal player. And they psychologically profile us to death. I don't think I'm revealing anything by saying that. Like, we're not supposed to give away tons of information of casting and what that process is like, but it is intensive. That is pretty well documented. They know everything about you. So they're going to put you on that island knowing not necessarily exactly what you're going to do, but a certain spectrum of ways that you will probably behave. And that's why they put you on your toes during the interview process, because they want to know if you're just putting on an act. Because if you're just putting on an act, as soon as you're starving on an island, you're not going to behave in that way. So.
That's fun. But Cuddle Puppy, he is alive. I can confirm.
I'm alive.
He's in person. This is not AI generated Christian Hubicki.
Yeah.
We are real.
Too long of a clip. I think we need a couple seconds of AI generated clips. Yeah.
That's fair. All right. Mega Man X is done. Congratulations. We are going to cut that. You are going to submit to speedrun.com and we'll be on the board because we are legit.
We're legit.
I think the emulator is acceptable. I'll check the time cuts, but yeah, we're counting it. It'll be at like 2 hours, but you are going to be top 250 if they verify.
Oh, my goodness.
Congratulations. If nothing else, we have achieved that tonight.
Well, hopefully the verifier learns a lot about robotics in the process.
Man, that's what I love is they're going to have to watch that whole video. They're going to hear us talk about neck robotics and Weekend at Bernie's and yeah. Oh man, it's going to be fun.